Sunday night saw goals galore as Brazil swept past Paraguay, but now they face their biggest rivals in the world, Argentina. Hello and welcome to Bravo's exclusive coverage of Brazil's World Cup qualifying campaign. Tonight we find out who is the biggest team in South America as Brazil, with Ronaldinho, Adriano and the new sensation Robinho, take on one of the few teams in the world that can possibly match them, their neighbours, Argentina. And with a place in the next World Cup up for grabs for the winner tonight, the drama is assured. Blimey, eh? Something's got to give tonight, then. Now, I'm joined in the studio for this game of games by the Charlton Athletic manager, Alan Kirbishley, and alongside him, the UK correspondent for O Globo, the Brazilian paper, Fernando Duarte. Remember that you can join in our conversation, lucky you, by texting any questions or queries or comments for Alan or Fernando to us here at 80088. Send the word studio and then your message and question to 80088. Text cost 25p plus standard network rate. And hey, ask for the bill payer's permission. Excellent. Brazil-Argentina, Argentina-Brazil. Fernando, you're Brazilian. How big is this game?
It doesn't get bigger than this. That's the match you dream of playing when you're a kid. I mean, we lost a World Cup to Uruguay, but it's Argentina. That is the game. That is the when the fire comes out of the belly. Even in friendlies, you had like 6 red cards. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah,
I'm sure you are. And Argentina as well. They've got a lot of things to pay Brazil back for in the last 12 months. A couple of defeats the Brazilians have inflicted on them. Alan, meanwhile, the guy who set up the big win for Brazil in the last qualifying match, that 3-1 victory in Brazil, was Ronaldo, but he's not there tonight. Were you surprised by the fact that Pereira's come down on him and dropped him from the side?
Well, I am really, but I think perhaps at some stage as a manager, enough's enough. They've got this Confederations Cup, which they're contracted up to do, and they're talking about taking the side there. And Ronaldo said, no, I'm not having none of that. My head's not right. I need a break. And basically the manager said, well, you can have a break completely then. You're not going to be involved in the World Cup qualifiers, which is a big decision. You know, they've done fantastic work the weekend and won that game. This is the big game, as we've just been talking about. You know, this is the game. They're playing away. It's a massive game for everybody, and he's left the so-called star out. Interesting. Will be interesting, the big match of round 15. Let's have a look at the other results from this round of South American qualifiers. Uruguay, they were making a bit of a comeback in the qualifying stakes, but they drew 0-0 away to Peru. Chile, they got a victory 2-1 at home to Venezuela. Colombia, another good win for them, 3-0 against Ecuador, who had been doing so well of late. And Paraguay, 4-1 victory, the same scoreline that they actually were defeated by Brazil on the weekend. They get that 4-1 win against Bolivia. Now that means this for the standings. Remember, the top 4 will go through automatically to Germany 2006. The 5th place side will go into a playoff with the winner of the Oceania group. And you can see Ecuador beginning to slip behind Brazil. Effectively, the top 2, Argentina and Brazil, are through. It's been called a luxury friendly, indeed, by both managers this week. But there's no real question of any kind of friendly match when Brazil or Argentina are involved. Certainly, Brazil, as they head into this game, got the best possible build-up on the weekend with Sunday's game against Paraguay. 4-1 the win there. And have a look for yourself at the highlights now with Steve Claridge and Andy Burton.
It's Roberto Carlos, all suspicion of handball. Referee given it. Penalty. He's got his arm up there and he's inviting trouble. So Ronaldinho then against Justo Villar. And he makes it look so easy. There's a little bit of skill, a bit of Flash Harry stuff there from Robinho, who goes down. And it's penalty number 2. Take 2 to extend the lead. And that one was a little bit special. The smile tells a story. What a goal! Well, it was Roberto with the shot there. Here's Canizo. goal. Roque Santa Cruz with his 11th goal for Paraguay. Now, here's Robinho. And it will now be party time in Porto Alegre.
Well, fantastic stuff. And they needed that, Brazil, really. They hadn't scored too many goals in their last qualifying matches, but they really came good and played the kind of football that you expect Brazil to be playing. In fact, I think in Brazil they called it their best match since the World Cup final, no?
Yeah, it was one of the matches that basically they said, yeah, we play like Brazil.
Right.
We scored a lot of goals, and that's what people want to see, I mean, regardless the opponent.
But, Fernando, what was all this business that Robinho was doing?
Well, that was tricky. I mean, it seemed, and people are saying that there was a kind of a tribute to Vivo, which is like
a telephone company.
It's a mobile phone operator who sponsors the Brazilian team.
Right.
Not
so
the
he was
first
basically
time.
photographed doing this so they could do the advert with VIVO. Yeah.
Not the first time. Ronaldo and Romário used to celebrate the goals like that, and that was also the logo of a beer company who used to sponsor Brazil.
Boy, that's progress. Huh?
Yeah.
Sponsored celebration. It was a magnificent performance of Robinho really hitting the world stage in quite magnificent form on Sunday night. As we mentioned earlier, Ronaldo out. But it was a very attacking formation with the 4-2-2-2. Two up front and two attacking midfielders. Total attack, that's the Brazilian tactics. It was the headline in one of the papers this week, indeed, urging Pereira, the manager, to use the same kind of formation against Argentina. Risky business, though, Alan, no?
I would have thought it would be, away to Argentina. But no, I think that the Brazilian teams that have been most successful have always had, they've had the great flair, but they've always had someone who's sat in midfield and done the stuff that perhaps the others don't want to do. And, you know, you've got to have that right balance. But you just called it a luxury friendly, if you like. But, you know, perhaps he's took the opportunity this weekend to do what he's done to Ronaldo, to give some people a game. Who knows if Ronaldo's going to be fit for the finals or whatever. So perhaps he's going to have a look at some of the other players and see how they can cope.
We shall see. I mean, it's fantastic to see that many talents up front for Brazil. One man on Sunday who didn't have too much to do in comparison was the keeper, Nelson Dida. He does look set to be a lot busier tonight, though. So Mark Wallace tells us a little bit more about the man they're calling the best Brazilian keeper ever.
When you think of Brazil, you instantly think of their mind-blowing skills and attacking flair. You only have to look back at the Paraguay game to see that. But behind every great team, there has to be a great goalkeeper. And at 31 years old, you could argue Dida is in his prime. He started his career at Brazilian side Vitória before moving to Cruzeiro, where he won his first silverware. Over the years, he has built up a fine reputation, and he's known as the penalty king, not scoring them, saving them.
Acho que é o trabalho acima de tudo, né? Eu acho que a gente tem que trabalhar ao máximo para desenvolver sua técnica, né? Eu acho que eu tenho isso no meu trabalho, né? Procuro aperfeiçoar sempre e eu acho que na hora do pênalti é mais uma adivinhação do que o centroavante possa vir a fazer para você defender.
He's been with Milan now for some 7 years, but initially struggled to secure a place in the first team. This prompted a return to his homeland in a loan deal with Corinthians, his superb form enabling them to win the Brazilian Championship in 1999 and the FIFA World Club Championship the following year. Milan took note and Dida was soon back in Italy. He's now their number one, and after Champions League success 2 years ago, he'll be disappointed they couldn't repeat it this year, despite his 2 penalty saves against Liverpool. Dida picked up a winner's medal in the last World Cup, despite losing his place at the last minute to Palmeiras keeper Marcos. He's been a regular since and will be a big part of Brazil's title defence in Germany next year.
Well, it must be a tough job being a goalkeeper for Brazil. They don't have too much in the way of defenders, do they? I mean, Rocky Jr. still makes their side.
I know, so when they do get a good keeper and when they do get a good centre-back or defensive midfield player, it does show and does stand out, and they do need that. You know, you can't have all these attacking players who are going out and expressing themselves. You actually need some sort of basis to set your platform, you know, to set your store out and to give yourself a chance. And it looks like they've found a real good keeper.
No, he's been outstanding for his club as well. Fernando, we mentioned all the things that Argentina might be looking for revenge for, the 3-1 defeat in the qualifying, also the final of the Copa America last summer. One thing Brazilians have been talking about a lot has been this issue of the 1990 World Cup. Pereira having to drink some Argentine water in a press conference this week to try and deflate the whole argument that's been building up about this incident from the 1990 World Cup. What's the story there?
Well, basically, a couple of months ago, Carlos Bilardo, who was an Argentine manager in 1990, confessed with a kind of rumor that was going around that, well, the fitness, the fitness instructor of the team, the physio, had put some sleeping substance in the water, and the water was given to a Brazilian player.
Now, this was in a knockout game in the 1990 World Cup between Argentina and Brazil, and basically they gave water to the Brazilians as a friendly gesture, but doped it first.
Yes, and the players complained about that like the morning after, but everybody, even in Brazil, just said, all right, losers, excuses, but it seems it's pretty true. Even Maradona was kind of admitting that he even visited the Brazilian hotel. There was a kind of a friendly atmosphere before this match, but it's a dodgy issue, definitely.
Oh, for sure. Pereira, as I say, he was actually drinking some Argentinian water this week to prove how much he was, how can I say, how much he wanted to sweep the whole thing under the carpet. Anyway, lots of things between these two teams. You would expect the Monumental de Núñez Stadium in Buenos Aires packed to the rafters for the meeting of these two colossal sides. Mark Wallace now gives us some background on the location for this monumental clash.
This evening's game takes place in the Argentine capital of Buenos Aires. The place has a rich cultural identity and a strong sense of European influence across language, lifestyle and architecture, particularly Spanish, Italian and English. This, of course, is the land of God. Diego Armando Maradona handled his very first football on these dirt pitches of Villa Fiorito before going on to become the most enigmatic footballer the world has ever seen. There are a number of professional football teams in Buenos Aires, but the two principal ones are Boca Juniors, the team of the people and the one Maradona played for in the early 80s, and River Plate, the most successful team in Argentine history, with players like Passarella, Francescoli and Crespo. This game will be played in River's Stadium. It's called the Estadio Antonio Vespuccio Liberty, or as it's better known, El Monumental. It has a capacity of over 65,000 and has held all 7 of Argentina's home qualifiers. With 5 wins and 2 draws, it clearly has a positive effect on the Argentina side.
Excellent stuff. Now, you may have seen on Sunday that we're giving away a signed Brazilian shirt. It was so popular. We had thousands of you actually texting in that we had a word with the boys and they managed to rustle up another of them. Look at that. Another shirt from the Seleção signed by the world champions themselves. If you want to win it, all you have to do is answer this extremely simple question. Who is Brazil's all-time top goal scorer? Is it A, Pelé, B, Ronaldo, or C, Romario? If you think you know the answer, or even just fancy a pop, then text the word WIN, leave a space, and then put your answer of A, B, or C, leave another space, and then list your name and hometown, and text the whole caboodle to 80088. Text cost 25p plus standard network rate, and remember to ask for the bill payer's permission. Lines will close incidentally at 9:40 p.m. tonight, and we will be announcing the winner at the end of the match, so good luck with that. OK, well, 11 of these beauties will shortly be taking the field over at the Monumental Stadium in Buenos Aires in this colossal clash with Argentina. We're going to take a very quick break. As you can see, the atmosphere already building over in Buenos Aires. So make sure you join us then, and when we return in a couple of minutes' time.
888.com. What's your game?
Perhaps I would like something for the weekend.
UFC Weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 10 p.m, exclusive to Bravo.
The new Citroën C4, alive with technology. And with no VAT guaranteed until 30th of June, the Citroën C4 now comes from £9,548.
Once there was a scarecrow who'd lost his scare, lost his home, lost his way. But someone found him, a farmer with a field of pure, nourishing whole grains. For only when you eat all of the grain do you get all of the goodness. This he knew from his Weetabix. Day by day, that goodness nourished the scarecrow. until one day he found his scare again. You can find the goodness of whole grain wherever you see the Weetabix sign. Weetabix, what are you made of?
Move up to Britain's fastest growing network with a great new deal from Dialaphone, the UK's leading direct mobile phone specialist. A line rental of just £30 a month is slashed with Dialaphone's special cashback by redemption deal. So the first 12 months work out at just £4.99 a month. 500 anytime, any network voice minutes, 100 text messages, and the latest Motorola V975 video phone absolutely free. Plus 3 months free insurance and delivery included. Order now. Visit dialaphone.co.uk/TV or call Dialaphone free on 0800 107 4714.
Regency found me an affordable way to buy my council house without the hassle.
They search for the right mortgage to suit your situation.
Regency took the worry and the hassle away from buying my council house.
The service was exceptional.
All the things I was worried about, Regency sorted it out for us.
Now it's mine, I can make plans for the future.
It's yours to do with what you want to do.
Regency made everything so simple.
And I would recommend them to anybody who was going to buy a council house.
This is my house.
What, you thought it was electronical microchips inside these things? Nah, it's me, Mr. Mouse, working my tail off all day surfing the net. And for what? To trace their ancestors. Look up their skew friends. Just for once, let me do something useful, like pay a visit to esure.com and get a quote. Ta-da. Your car, your home, even your holiday, all covered in double-click time. The money you could save with esure.com could make you one happy bunny, and me one happy mouse. Well, esure.com, insurance at mice's prices. Come on, give us a click.
The Untouchables, Zulu, Saving Private Ryan. 3 classic movies, just $5.99 each on DVD now.
10 of the Duke's classic movies are now available on DVD at a very special price. John Wayne on DVD for Father's Day. Round 'em up.
That's it. I'm taking the day off.
Even better. Wouldn't it be great to take a few years off? New Total Effects cleansing cloths. Now, while you cleanse, you can begin to fight 7 signs of aging.
Wouldn't you like to wipe away the years?
New Total Effects cleansing cloths from Olay. You'll love the skin you're in.
Clear.
ER meets the Strip in our exclusive new drama, Dr. Vegas. 10:05 Saturday, part of Player on Challenge.
888.com. What's your game?
Welcome back, everyone. The South American derby coming up on Bravo. Argentina, Brazil, 2 of the favourites for next year's World Cup, face-to-face. And whoever wins, incidentally, will seal their place at Germany 2006. Now, it's 10 years since Brazil have actually won in Buenos Aires. And with Ronaldo missing tonight, he's at home resting. Much of their hopes will be resting on the particularly beefy shoulders of his replacement up front, Adriano. Mark Wallace now tells us more about one of the most dangerous strikers in the world.
Adriano fits the exact mould from which Ronaldo came. Big, powerful and blessed with speed to frighten any defender. The striker started his career at Flamengo before joining Inter Milan in 2001. He had loan spells at Fiorentina and Parma before establishing himself as the Nerazzurri's head talisman. Adriano burst onto the international scene in last year's Copa America, scoring 7 goals to become the competition's top scorer and also walked away with a winner's medal.
Well, we had several texts on Sunday night asking what's happened to this much publicised multi-million-pound offer by Chelsea for Adriano's services. You mentioned Mourinho has mentioned Adriano on various occasions through the season. Again this week, Adriano has reiterated that he's going to be staying at Inter. He says he's instructed his agent to break off all contact with Real Madrid, the other team interested, and Chelsea, because he wants to win something with the Nerazzurri. So that's his plan for the future. Fernando, though, you're full of all sorts of stories from the Brazilian press.
Well, he told the Brazilian press there was an offer from Chelsea of 100 million euros, and I think it might not be up to him at the end. I mean, if Inter sells or not. So I prefer to watch the wheels go by.
Is he popular back in Brazil as the guy who takes over from Ronaldo?
Well, of course, he's not as popular as Ronaldo, but people know what he's doing. People in Brazil, they follow the European leagues. They know it's a as we can say, a legend in the works. Just give the boy some chances. So people, especially people from Rio, they know he might pull up.
Still only 23, of course. Well, meanwhile, on the other side of things, the big danger man for Argentina is Hernan Crespo, who's certainly been cutting the mustard this season on loan from Chelsea at Milan, and narrowly missing out, of course, on a Champions League winners' medal in Istanbul. Here's more from Mark.
Hernan Crespo started his career with Argentine giants River Plate. Having led them to a Copa Libertadores triumph, the inevitable courtship from Europe prompted a move to Italy, and after spending 4 years at Parma, he then transferred to Lazio for what was then a record £36 million. Although still officially a Chelsea player, Hernan spent a very good last season on loan to Milan. His 5 goals in these qualifiers so far have lifted him into 3rd place in Argentina's all-time top scorers with 26 goals.
Well, again, the press in Italy are confirming that Milan and Chelsea have now done a deal to leave Crespo. He's been in top form for Milan this season at the San Siro for next season. Are you surprised that Chelsea have let him go so quickly?
Well, I think it's amazing. He's been the forgotten man of all the Chelsea signings. I think that Abramovich's first signings would have been Veron, Crespo and Mutu. Last year, they was all out on loan or, suspended or whatever. And £100 million worth of players not being used by Chelsea last year. Amazing. But out of the 3 of them, Crespo is the one that's come to the front.
Argentina have so many talented players. You've got Saviola, Riquelme, Heinze, of course, who Manchester United.
But Crespo, as he showed...
He's the guy for you, is he?
Crespo, as he showed in the Champions League, I mean, he scored goals regularly. And I think he's proving 1 or 2 people wrong here in England. I think, as I say, an early Ranieri Abramovich signing that didn't quite work. And as soon as Mourinho came in, it wasn't his cup of tea, he went. But now he's actually gone somewhere else and has produced. So, great credit to him, I think.
Indeed so. He's up against plenty of his Milan teammates, of course, tonight. Cafu, Dida and Kaká. And the game just 5 minutes away now from kicking off in Buenos Aires. Fans leaping up and down in eager anticipation of this clash of clashes. Over 65,000 in the Monumental Stadium tonight for this clash between these 2 giants of the South American game. We're going to take another quick break. Kickoff's coming up. Make sure you don't go away.
888.com. What's your game?
Boot camp tomorrow at 8 on Bravo.
The Renault Scenic.
Giving up smoking can be hard, especially when cravings can occur at any time. So why not try the great minty taste of Nicorette Fresh Mint Gum? It can help you beat cravings whenever and wherever they strike. Nicorette Fresh Mint Gum, for fast, flexible control of your cravings.
In this week's Zoo, the Rude Archive special, the naughtiest stand-up gags, and the top secret new Ferrari. Oh, Zoo makes your week!
Wall's Strawberry Cornetto.
Now it's strawberry all the way down!
You've all heard the rumors. Area 51 is just a government research facility. Everything is totally under control.
My big apple bum.
I've got Popeye's arms.
Big bell thighs. My bum is like a bouncy castle. My love handles.
My Buddha belly.
Most of us have little bits of our bodies that we don't like. Dove body washes with extra thick, creamy moisturizers will make you feel so good those worries seem to melt away. New Dove body washes with extra skin-loving cream.
Oh, Darren, this comfort's now even fresher.
Oh,
Darren!
Oh no, it's Stitcher.
It's gonna knock the stuffing out of you, Darren.
Oh, Stitcher's gone all soft.
collect gold comfort caps and get free spa treatments.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind some of that.
Soften things up with free spa treatments from Comfort.
All right, folks, listen up. We need to take better care of our existing customers. Wise man? Any thoughts?
He wants to go somewhere more peaceful.
Okay, what does he have in mind? So?
He says we should give all our existing customers great deals like we give our new customers.
Genius! Is anyone taking notes?
Oh. Wait, the water's warmer around the wise man.
Hello, my friends. My name is Uri. This is my home. It's very cozy, as you can see. And this is my pride and joy, my refrigerator. Maybe. Oh, perfect temperature. This crazy boy here is my homeboy Gorb. Cheers. And this is the best thing about my place. Peace and quiet. Smirnoff Ice. Brrr.
I never seem to really hit it off with women.
Well, you're not going to, looking like that. Image consultants, my friend really needs your help. Let me do the talking.
Hi. Nice shirt. I like it.
Right. Well, oh dear. Green is so not your colour. Yellow Pages. Whatever you want, just yell.
A sign of the times. Brand new series, Street Crime UK 4, tonight at 10:45, only on Bravo.
888.com. What's your game?
Welcome back, everyone. Brazil up against their arch rivals Argentina tonight. Will the Argentines avenge their 3-1 defeat in Brazil? Will Robinho come up with another astonishing performance? Let's find out now as we join our commentary team for the game. Steve Claridge and first, Andy Burton.
James, thank you. This time last year, these sides met in Belo Horizonte and Brazil won 3-1 thanks to a hat-trick of penalties from Ronaldo. Now he's not even in the side, and it's Argentina who topped the group. It's more than 100 million pairs of eyes on this game tonight. If the last meeting's anything to go by, it's going to be fast, physical and fascinating. Let's take a look at these team lineups then for you and confirm just who's who here. Argentina banking on the form, as you said, of Hernan Crespo. He's their top scorer in qualifying. The big question him, though, does he have that bounce-back ability to put the Champions League hard take behind him? And for sure, in Kily, González, Juan Riquelme and Juan Pablo Sorin, plenty of surging runs, Steve, from midfield.
Yep, they've actually got a normal, what you would consider a fairly normal shape. I know it looks a little bit contrived there, but they are a 3-5-2 formation. They've got Sorin one side, Zanetti the other. You assure me Sorin will break up and down, you know, mainly getting forward, which is probably more important as a wing back. So Cafu and Sorin could be quite a matchup, couldn't it?
Sorin, I tell you as well, if you haven't seen him play before, he has one of the worst haircuts in world football. Two changes here then for Brazil tonight. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. Lucio suspended, of course, after being sent off on Sunday, so in comes Juan to partner his Bayer Leverkusen teammate Roque Jr. in central defence. Cafu's back from suspension. He comes in to replace Balletti. And the famous four who scored 4 against Paraguay on Sunday. This match start again. It's Kaká, Ronaldinho behind Adriano and Robinho.
Yeah, well, these they're a little bit difficult to make out who's where. Obviously, you've got your 4 defenders. Whether you can call Roberto, Carlos, and Cafu defenders, I don't know. You'll have Roberto will sit. Emerson probably will do another job, and they will let the front 4 and possibly the front 6 just get on with it and to do a job.
It's going to be very, very exciting here to see who comes out on top of these two huge footballing nations. Something like 140 million people in Brazil, 40-odd million people in Argentina. And you can be sure that 99.9% of them are going to be watching this encounter. A huge game indeed, and of course the winner of this match will be the first side from this qualifying group to qualify for the World Cup finals in Germany 2006. Revenge, very much the key word here then for Argentina. And our referee, Gustavo Mendes, gets us off and underway. It doesn't get much bigger than this, folks. It's Brazil attacking the goal away to our right-hand side. And there are intriguing one-on-one battles all over the park here, Steve.
there are. I think the important thing, you touched on it just now, is whoever wins this game can take their foot off the pedal, can't they? That's it. It's job done. You know, they can go and give some other lads the opportunity to play in some games and really rest some people up, you know, for the World Cup that's coming up. And I just think it just takes a lot of the pressure off, and you just know that you're there, and that's the best outcome that anybody can get out of this.
Lovely little shoulder-to-shoulder there involving Roberto, Ayala and Adriano. And up goes Cafu this time to give Gabriel Heinze a gentle reminder of what he's going to be facing, because you can be guaranteed one thing here tonight: Juan Pablo Sorin and Cafu won't be seeing much of each other. Cafu at right back, he'll be pegging forward, so too will Sorin, the left wing back. So it's going to be Heinze who will pretty much be marking Cafu tonight as he surges down that right-hand side. Back three, very competent here for the Argentines: Heinze, Ayala and Coloccini. Very, very sturdy unit. And there's another crunching tackle, and it's Emerson who gets stuck in this time. And a sign of things to come here, I'm sure, on Kily González.
I think Kily González just lost his foot in there, and I mean, I don't think he's even trying to go for that tackle. If you have a look at this, maybe I was wrong there, actually. That was a naughty tackle, I've got to say. I thought he'd slipped into that, but he didn't. It was very, very late.
A little bit late indeed, so just how fast this game will be.
I find it absolutely incredible that you've got a side like Brazil and they get their width from the two fullbacks. It's such a difficult way to play. You know, you don't stretch at any time. Do you stretch the game? You're so reliant on your two fullbacks to give you the width, and normally it takes them, you know, it takes time to get them forward.
The home fans love that turn. The challenge goes unpunished by referee Mendes. The home fans not too happy about that. Still, though, Argentina have possession. You see Ronaldinho tracking back there to get near Juan Riquelme. So another look at this turn. Lovely bit of skill there from Javier Saviola. Very competent player out in Monaco this season in France. Expect plenty more big names heading over to France, you know. There's a bit of money going into that game. Reading this week that they've signed a new TV deal. The top league there now has a television deal on par financially with the Premiership back home. So there's going to be plenty of money around the French game.
Yeah, they've got Roman Abramovich
there.
I'm not really sure that the TV money counts now. I don't think anything counts now, actually.
Last I heard, he wasn't buying a French club, but who knows? And there's Sorin. You just see him with the ponytail there, and a first shot on goal for Argentina. It's Saviola. It's comfortable though for Dida.
I just get when you say he's not buying a French club, just get the thing. Look, it's that Carlsberg advert where I just thought about a nightclub and he'd buying it, and it would probably be the best nightclub you've ever been to. This is a
Riquelme. He puts Crespo through. It's Hernan Crespo. It's Argentina who lead. 3 minutes gone, and Hernan Crespo beats his club teammate Dida. And what a dream start this is for the Argentines. It's gone crazy.
I think that's the difference. When you play a system where people tend to go missing and go walkabout like they did there, you will get done by a team that's got a bit of shape, but got a bit of balance, and knows how to apply it. And you know, tactically already we see an Argentinian side that look far more comfortable when they get the ball, far more comfortable on the ball, and that seem to know their jobs.
This is Hernan Crespo's 27th goal for his country in 49 appearances. He's onside, Steve.
Oh, he's onside. Roque Jr. I don't know where Roque Jr. is going. He's got to stay with his man. Look at the time and the space in the centre of the goal here. Takes a touch, he can look up and literally picks his spot. And in all honesty, when you've got somebody on the form that he is, you know, he isn't going to miss an opportunity like that.
6 goals in World Cup qualifying, as you see on your screen, for Hernan Crespo, and this man can't seem to stop scoring just at the moment, and that's worrying for Brazil fans. Mark my words. Here's a quick effort for Brazil as they look to try and get back in this game through Robinho. Well, much talk about the young protege here, Robinho, and how he's going to fare on the international stage. He's only got to look at Hernan Crespo to see just how to do it.
Yeah, what you have, as you said, you've got a player in the top of his game. You know, it's amazing. We saw Henry. Henry played in Italy, couldn't play well for love nor money. Comes over to Arsenal, best player in the world last year.
There's a lunge.
You've got to be comfortable in your surroundings. You've got to feel wanted. That's exactly what he is over in Milan. And he's just taken that form into this game.
Roberto Carlos there, not happy with the challenge. Not happy with the yellow card that resulted from it. It's Cafu then in the book, and the captain back from suspension, and he's in the referee's notebook already for this.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to make the challenge, hasn't he? If he doesn't...
Luis Gonzalez was pretty clever there in the way he played the ball past Cafu, and forward he went, down he went. So Argentina then with a dream start here on Bravo. Don't forget, we welcome your thoughts on the text messages. As ever, that number, 80088. Penny for his thoughts, I wonder. Carlos Alberto Pereira, up against it already. Send us your views on that text message, number 80088. It'll cost you 25p plus your standard network charge. Don't forget to put your name and where you're texting from. Many Brazil fans watching at home, Steve, and they won't believe the start that Argentina have made to this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we see, we associate Brazil with the beautiful game, the passing and the movement. I really am surprised at how many times that they're actually looking to get Adriano in behind. They did it previously against Paraguay. Just that one long ball, and I mean, the time of his runs is fantastic, but it's going to take a better ball than it did Sunday to beat this Argentina side.
Argentina at Manchester United's Gabriel Heinze back now to Roberto Abbondanzieri in the Argentine goal. Here is Sorin, the captain, an inspirational figure, Kily González, and they're trying to beat Brazil at their own game here.
Well, you always know when a team maybe isn't set up correctly or the balance, the shape is wrong. It's because when the other team get it, they look comfortable and they look like they've got time and space. When you get it, it looks extremely tight.
Robinho. Back to Roberto. Now it's Ronaldinho, and I think that's his first touch after 7.5 minutes, by the way. Away by Coloccini. And it's there to be chased by Juan Riquelme, who, by the way, one of a crop of players who came really into the international limelight under the current coach of Argentina, a man who worked with the youth system through the Argentine FA, Jose Peckerman. He's only just come into the reckoning here as the international coach, as we see Sorin go down. 3 matches for Peckerman now with the national team at senior level, 2 wins, 1 draw, and already under his stewardship they lead the world champions here. Here's Cafu. Looking for Kaká, this possibly his first touch of the evening as well, and he's done well to beat his man, but the ball just lets him down. Adriano will chase down, and it's going to be dealt with there by Kily González, only though as far as Kaká. It's Cafu, and it's away this time by Coloccini.
That's surprising, because you've got Adriano who's not really getting involved in a lot of the play, and didn't Sunday, just mainly plant himself in the box to get on the end of stuff. But there would seem to be anyone in there when the ball went into the box, which is strange.
Well, Ryan in Aberdeen bigging up Juan Riquelme. Villarreal man certainly has proved, Ryan, in Spain this season what he's all about. 33 goals, 33 games in La Liga, I should say, 8 goals in his second season with the club. Joined them from Barcelona, of course. And he is one of these players who under Peckerman has won an under-20 World Championship. Down goes Robinho. It was Ayala who was paying him some close attention there. And the Valencia defender's given away a dangerous-looking free kick now. Roque Jr.'s up, so too Juan. Don't have too many big, powerful headers in this side. Emerson is one of them, he wears 5. What sort of delivery do we have here from Ronaldinho? Oh, you've got to beat the near man there.
Yeah, I mean, they had a man, it was a late runner, probably just that the free kick was taken possibly a tad early. They did get someone across from there and someone just in behind, but as I say, the run didn't quite time with the taking of the free kick.
Just a reminder there of the text message number. Put the word studio at the start of your text message and then your views, plus your name and where you're texting from. Get it away to 80088. Best of them go out on air between now and full time, possibly even with James and Fernando and with Alan at half-time as well. Kaká has to track back, and this really is where Brazil struggle for me. They have just that one solid holding midfielder in the form of Emerson here. See Roberto not quite cutting it for me. I think they do a lot better with a Gilberto Silva in there, frankly.
they sort of get enough men behind the ball. I mean, they quickly, as I say, retreat, but it's just
square pegs and round holes.
Well,
isn't it?
yeah, I mean, you retreat, but you retreat into what position? I mean, I don't think anybody really knows what position they're actually playing. I mean, look at the width, look at the way that they're moving the ball, Argentina, simply because of the shape of their side.
Sorin has a great delivery on in. That was one of them looking for Saviola and Crespo. Here's Heinze now, just shipping it off the ball. Cafu will find Kaká, who looks for Adriano. And there was a late foot in there as well on Adriano. And Ayala went in late there on his man. And Ronaldinho's doing his best to calm things down.
He's clean through. Ayala, whether there's a player behind him, I don't know. Should really go off for something like that. Adriano is clean through on goal. I know there's a covering defender, but whether he gets it or not is debatable. It's a cynical piece of play by Ayala.
Watch the late kick as well when we see the replay. I tell you, he was down on the ground, and just watch Ayala. Here's the challenge.
Clean through.
There's the kick. And Adriano took exception to that, and he's a fiery character.
Cannot believe he isn't.
Can Roberto Carlos make Argentina and Ayala pay here? 11.5 minutes gone in the game. It's Roberto Carlos. It's against the wall. It's Cafu to drill in. It's blocked away again. And Argentina survive.
Justice certainly not done there. They can feel themselves with a touch aggrieved, I think.
Did you even see a yellow card there for Ayala? I didn't think there was there?
Didn't come up, no.
Roque Jr. off Bayer Leverkusen. So his club teammate Juan.
I'm still flabbergasted as to where Roque Jr. was going for the goal. I think there must have been a cheap deal on the pies or something, because he just suddenly went walkabout. It was incredible. Can't do that at this level.
Kily González now, who's done plenty of defending in the opening 12 minutes. Whenever Brazil have got forward, he's been back there. Sorin will charge down on Cafu. Saviola will do the same on Dida. Interesting irony there that Dida, of anyone who's in this Brazil lineup, knows all about Hernan Crespo from those Milan training sessions.
Say he's he had to stop that though, does it? When he bends one in the bottom bag. How much you know about him?
It was a fine finish.
It was a great finish.
Hernan Crespo, 30 years of age, still doing the business despite his critics.
Because he's in such good form, he knows how much time and space he's got. You know, he can't see the defender behind him, but he knows that he's got time to take a touch, look up, and pick his spot.
Look at the strength there from Saviola to hold off Roque Jr. And that's just the sort of thing that gives the home team a boost here. The fans love it, the players respond, and you've got leaders like that all over the park in this Argentine side. And again, Saviola through the legs of Roque Jr., who pulls his man down.
I've never seen so many nutmegs. We have 3 nutmegs already, haven't we? 3 of the most blatant nutmegs I think we've ever seen.
That's why millions of people back home are tuning in, Steve.
They've matched them, though, for everything, Argentina. Skill, effort, and fantastic start. I mean, the pace of this game is incredible.
Caught a little flat-footed there. Roque Jr. And Javier Saviola is on fire in the opening 13 minutes.
The real Roque Jr. has actually stepped forward today, hasn't he? Certainly by the evidence of this game.
Plenty of runners, Sorin in particular, and they're looking in the end for the man on the back post there, and it's Gabriel Heinze. 39 appearances for Manchester United this season, just the 1 goal, not quite on target here.
Yeah, doesn't quite get around the ball, does he? A bit too straight on it.
Did well to climb there above Juan.
Strange, he's almost got a different. Well, he's definitely got a different role, and there's different things being asked of him, isn't there? I mean, certainly for Man United, you wouldn't expect Heinze to get up there and be one of the people that you'd hit from a free kick or a corner, but obviously for Argentina, they look great, don't they?
Sorin now, and this is a team bursting with confidence here. It's Luis Gonzalez with the cross. It's deflected and it's applauded by many inside the stadium and by many of his teammates too.
This is 2 teams, one with real balance and real shape, who seem to be extremely comfortable in what they're doing, know their jobs, and another team who play very much off the cuff, and as you can see, the benefits of one against the other.
It's as if one team are ad-libbing and the other are sticking to the script.
Absolutely.
Put away by Emerson, just fizzed over Dina's crossbar there by Luis González. The right wing back just has that defensive role on the corners.
Fantastic strike, by the way. I mean, he does just about everything he can from the height he receives the ball to get over it. You see, it really sits up. And it's not that far over the bar. I'd be interested. It's probably only about a foot over, I'd imagine.
Well, Jose Peckerman has won 3 under-20 World Championships with Argentina, 95, 97 and 2001. And many of this current crop of players have worked with him before. And there's a great deal of unity about this Argentine squad at the moment. Huge self-belief and huge talent too. And but for a stumble there, Hernan Crespo was in again.
Not sure what he's complaining about there. Yeah, it looks like he's complaining that he was fouled, but I mean, it's fantastic play, isn't it? Great play again. I mean, we saw him get in now. I mean, he's run across from Cafu. That's another thing. Cafu's not aware of that because he's pulled off his shoulder. And some of the passing and decisive movement has been fantastic. I mean, we saw Adriano get in from a ball in.
Well, there's Adriano on the turn again.
It'd be interesting to see this, wouldn't it?
He rolled his man there.
Did he?
And there was a late foot again, and Adriano looks pretty frustrated.
There's a few hard luck stories out there, isn't there, so far?
Adriano, what a season he's had, by the way. Great form out in Italy. Scored a hat-trick for Brazil as well in the Copa America about this time last year. That was against Costa Rica, if memory serves correct. And scored a hat-trick as well against Porto in the Champions League this season. 26 goals in 41 games. Great numbers in really what was his first full season in terms of game time out in Italy. Sorin finds Mascherano, holding midfielder. Haven't heard much from him tonight. Haven't had to yet. It's Gonzalez. And it's another slip there by Crespo, who's just struggling a little bit with the surface here. Oh, now that is a little bit special from Juan Riquelme. And still Argentina pressurised, and it's a goal again! Dina's beaten twice in the first 17 minutes, and it's Juan Riquelme. What a goal! And Brazil had been rocked here by the group leaders.
Sure how these got beaten by Ecuador, but it must certainly been an off game because they are. You see them and they're a lot of talent. They're much touted. They're much vaunted. They come into these big competitions off the back of really big reputations. To actually see this today is mesmeric almost.
It's Roque Jr. again who's beaten there, Steve.
This takes a deflection. This takes a deflection. I can promise you that now. There. Look at Didi. Takes a deflection off the defender. There. That's why he's wrong-footed.
Well, deflected and in, and Argentina are comfortably cruising in this game at the moment, and Brazil look a shadow of their former selves, and this does not look like a side who scored 4 goals on Sunday night on Bravo, I can tell you. If you missed that game, well, the performances just don't compare. Ronaldinho there just trying to evade a challenge. We've hardly had a slip from him. Look at all those blue and white shirts surrounding.
Every time the Brazilian gets the ball.
Coloccini will play this out. What an amazing start to this game.
What a fantastic start. I mean, they've just blown them to pieces, haven't they, Argentina? Incredible. What a spectacle so far.
Luis González, the injured party. Not quite sure why he's not had to go off. I thought if you went down, maybe that's only because he didn't have treatment.
It's different over there, isn't it? That sort of thing.
And Riquelme with a deflected goal. And I don't think even Argentina, even with their most positive thinking, could never have predicted that they would have made a start like this.
I think as well, to be fair, they've actually been first to the ball. They've been strong, very physical in their approach, started at a real tempo, and they really have got in and mixed it.
Didn't see it on the replay, Steve, but it was that audacious flick from Riquelme that actually started that move. Then there was the 1-2 with Gonzalez. There's another chance, and Crespo was struggling to bring it under control. It almost turned there into a layoff. Well, the travelling support doing their best to urge on the likes of Robinho.
What did it say?
Huh?
What did it say?
I'm not down on the Brazilian, Steve, to be honest with you. There was only one word I recognised there, that was Robinho. No matter how hard I looked in the airport, I couldn't find a Brazilian English dictionary. Here's another run, and it's Roque Jr. again exposed here. Will need to stay on his feet. And Crespo just trying to hold the ball up. Can he win himself a corner? He's kept it in. Goal kick. Crespo thought otherwise, but I think he was just trying his luck there. But Hernan Crespo and Argentina look like a team possessed at the moment.
I mean, it's amazing when you look at Chelsea and what they've missed this year.
That was the flick that started the move.
Fantastic.
And interestingly and ironically, Ronaldinho was left well off the pace there as Riquelme taught him a trick or two.
I just find it difficult to believe that an international, world-class, supposedly defender can dive in like he did Roque Jr. on the 30 yards out, and he's just got to sit, hold him up, and see him out. I just find it incredible. Against this quality of player as well.
Well, on Sunday night we were hyping this game up, and it hasn't let us down so far. 87 matches between these two sides before tonight. 33 wins for Argentina, 22 draws, 32 wins for Brazil. It's evenly poised through the history books, but tonight it's looking very one-sided indeed. Ayala finds González. Heinze. A nothing ball there from the Manchester United man. Picked up this time last year for a fee in the region of £6.9 million. Of course, last summer he went out to the Copa America, then the Olympics. Alex Ferguson not happy with that, but he settled in very well indeed. And then once again is Riquelme. Lovely layoff for him, perfectly weighted. This is all about strength and skill and awareness and a bit of luck.
Yeah, you always need a bit of luck, but if you don't buy a ticket, as I say, you have your shots, and you get a lucky deflection, and to be fair, it's no more than that, doesn't it, at the stage.
Well, if it stays like this, it's Argentina who qualified for Germany 2006. They get the job done early. Another surging run.
They don't even step up in a line, though. There's two defenders going up and two defenders still staying in. And the defender, I can't remember a forward from Argentina having to check his run to feel as if he's going to go offside. It's incredible. They're just playing this totally separate sections of their team.
Very disjointed performance.
It is
so far.
Extremely.
As we reach the halfway stage in this first half. Plenty more of your text messages coming in tonight on 80088. Argentina ripping Brazil apart. They certainly are indeed. And there's an offside flag raised on Crespo. Thank you, Colin, for your thoughts on 80088. Brazil certainly haven't woken up yet, and they do need to change things, Steve.
They do. I mean, we've said before, against lesser sides, the actual brilliance of their players and the fantastic athleticism that they show, and the great skill will be enough. Against a team that's is very much your equal, you need help.
Now surging run from Robinho. Away it comes. Heinze with the no-nonsense clearance there. There's the 21-year-old Santos man who they've all been raving about. Did score at the weekend on his first start. We've got Roque Jr. up there in a very advanced position. Kily González back to deal with it. And there's Peckerman rallying the troops. Don't exactly need much rallying at the moment. Just some fine-tuning, just to try and eliminate that threat, because of course Brazil can score in an instant. They have players that can turn a game in a flash.
Well, we're talking about a side who's barely had a passage of play where they've been able to keep hold of the ball, yet they've had two fantastic opportunities to get in, and I think we'll feel very, very hard done by on both accounts.
If you're just joining us, Crespo on 3, Riquelme on 18 give Argentina a 2-goal lead here against the world champions.
Already we're seeing time and time again, they've actually, Argentina have got defenders who defend. if Brazil are going to, you get the impression if Brazil are going to get back into this game, it's going to take a good passage of play. You know, they're going to have to do something excellent. Whereas you get the other way, and you feel like Argentina, even, you know, it doesn't have to be a great bit of play. You know, just a good move will get them in.
Coloccini with the header away. See Roberto. Haven't really talked too much about the front four for Brazil tonight. They've really haven't had a chance to put any sort of stranglehold on this game. Here's one of them, Ronaldinho. Oh, and there's a late challenge. Advantage played here as Kaká has possession. Roberto Carlos dinks it in. This is a chance for Adriano, but there's just too much on the cross, and really that advantage amounted to nothing. Kily González will break away now. Shoving the back from Roque Jr., who's got to be careful on Crespo.
It's a good player. Sticks. He has stuck when it's gone up to the Argentinians. It's a poor challenge. They are not scared to leave a bit on you, Argentina, are they?
Oh no, we saw that in the first game in qualifying. This time last year, it was an amazing game. 3 penalties from Ronaldo separated the sides that day. Sorin with a goal late on, which at that time gave Argentina a little bit of hope. And there's an example of just what Steve was saying there. And Roque Jr. is almost aghast at the fact that he was kicked so blatantly.
I think as well, I mean, we touch on it, but you know, your Ronaldos and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, against your Bolivias, your Paraguays, your Uruguay, well, whoever, you know, they can get away with it, and they'll probably qualify. I think the real test will come, and you know, not the Confederations Cup, but when the World Cup comes about, then we'll see if he can pick, if he picks him or doesn't pick him, then will be the true test.
Just a reminder of our competition tonight. If you want to win that signed Brazil shirt, text us the answer to this question. Who is Brazil's all-time top goal scorer? Is it A, Pele, B, Ronaldo, C, Romario? Text your answer through, starting with the word win, followed by A, B or C to 80088. It'll cost you 25p plus your standard network charge. It's not your bill. Please ask the payer's permission. Don't forget to put your name and hometown on those text messages as well. James has the answer and the winner's name at full time. And now is Kily González. Finds Luis González. Up goes Riquelme to help out. Mascherano's there. Now Sorin. Kily González. Sorin on the overlap. Kaká with the challenge. Kily González gets back and wins the ball. Gets a nudge from Kaká.
But what they're doing is, if you look, they're using the width, you know, whichever side they are. See, that's a foul. Whatever side it is, they're just biding their time. They're very, very patient. They're waiting for that opening to come. They know it will as well. And they're getting it left, playing it into the middle. It's tight. It's very, very tight. Going to the right, but they're getting that space just by having that width.
Gabriel Heinze goes down here. He's actually injured in the fall as he collided with Juan. Just landed on the back of his thigh there.
I know you're struggling when Ronaldinho's making tackles like that.
Kily González just chips one forward, looking for Sorin. There's the left wing back, by the way, challenging the goalie just outside the 6-yard box. I told you he was going to get forward.
I mean, that's very much what we saw there was a cross from deep, not getting in behind the defenders, you know, and that's very much what Brazil suffer from with the 2 fullbacks. They never actually get to the byline. You never actually see them pulling the ball back across and actually making defenders defend facing their own goal. You know, it's very much, everything tends to be very much in front of them.
Roberto Abbondanzieri of Boca Juniors, one of only a couple of players in this starting lineup to play his football in Argentina. He's with Boca. Luis González is with River Plate. So too is Javier Mascherano. Talk of a summer move to Europe for him.
Do you not get the feeling that, like you said, you touched on it, do you not get a feeling that these people are actually, these players are actually playing for each other very much so? They are a unit. They look as if they know what they want to do, and I mean, there isn't anybody that they really rely on, is there? Everybody is doing their job. Nobody has to play fantastically well for them to win this game.
Sounds corny, but they look like they'd all bleed for each other.
Yes.
They'd all step up to the plate, and at the moment they're doing that, and none more so than Kily González.
One fills in Kily González, fills in for Sorin. You know, Sorin are filling for Heinze, and it's a fantastic application.
Just more of a clear-cut structure. Here then is Ronaldinho, and it's cut out again, and look at that, before Ronaldinho has a chance to compose himself, He's being hassled and hurried. Cafu, haven't seen too much of him. He's not had the chance to get forward. He does now. Blocked away. Is it? It is. I wonder if that's their first of the night.
Oh, I'd love to see the stats on exactly how many times Brazil get the ball in the final third and are able to put the ball into the box, you know, and it's not Cafu, because I just don't see anybody else who's going to give them that width.
Emerson's up. It's a good delivery, but there's nobody on the end of it. It's away by Crespo. And Robinho is just turned there by Riquelme. And on the half-hour mark, it's Saviola bursting free. And it's just too far forward for Luis Gonzalez. Coloccini's up there now. Here's Riquelme. And unfortunately for Argentina, he teed that one up all wrong.
Just looking for someone to hit there. And it's a fantastic break. It's still not great defending. I mean, you've got to just see him out there. He's tight to the touchline. Just can't get a player advancement, can he?
Almost a lovely ball.
It was. It was. He's looking. I mean, it's one of those where you just want to leave it into an area. But in the end, McCann couldn't quite find the team.
Carlos Alberto Pereira's men have Chile at home in their next game in September. Then it's Bolivia away. They're bottom of the table. That's a must-win and a certain win there for Brazil. And then Venezuela at home in their final game. So 3 matches left for you. Don't forget, we bring you those live on Bravo through September and October.
But how much are you going to learn against teams like that? You know, how much? This is the games where you think, hold on a minute, this is the type of opposition when it comes to the crunch that we'll be playing against, and they've come up they've come up well short today.
Roberto finds Roberto Carlos. Kaká dropping deep. Roque Jr. back to Roberto Carlos, and for the first time Brazil trying to string some passes together. Robinho, quick turn. Allowed to run to Emerson by Kaká. Kaká gets it back, but he's marked closely by Coloccini. And Sorin, and now Riquelme. He's dispossessed. And Ronaldinho finds Adriano. Back to Cafu. 2 blue and white shirts around every Brazilian player who wins the ball. Here's Kaká to run. He's onside on the near side. It's chipped in. But it's gone out of play as Robinho was sniffing around, and Luis Gonzalez there is thankful that that ball went over the crossbar.
That's when they're dangerous, when they're faced up to you. Kaká, Ronaldinho, and they're just on the edge of the box. They're faced up to you, they're running at you, and then the movement off of it.
So Adriano might have been off there, or Cafu rather, might have been off there as he made the run. Not so sure that did go out. Uruguayan officials giving Argentina benefit of the doubt. He's happy. Abbondanzieri with a long kick down forward. Where's Ronaldo when you need him? How times change, Claire. How times change, eh?
It's football, isn't it? I mean, Sunday it was Ronaldo. Now it's the World Cup depends on Ronaldo. That's football. Just sums it up, doesn't it?
If you want to add to those views on the text messages tonight, by all means you can. 80088 gets you through. Put the word studio at the start of your message. If we don't have time to get through them, James and the boys back home will at half-time, which is now some 11 minutes away. Ronaldinho. Pressurised by Mascherano.
Nothing easy, is it, when they get the ball?
No time, no space.
There's nothing easy. I can't, when Argentina get it, they're comfortable. They get the ball, there's time and space. Brazil get it. They have to be so fleet-footed on the ball. There's always pressure on them.
I'm sure our Argentine director will be showing that miss-hit by Ronaldinho again. Don't see too many of those. Crunching challenge on Roberto. Argentina win it back. Luis Gonzalez now, and there's an offside flag raised. It's raised late, but it's raised correctly. And Javier Saviola was offside.
They're getting worse. There's no doubt about that. I actually think that sometimes they're so late. I think they're playing the advantage rule as well, the linesman. I mean, he's clearly offside. What's he waiting for?
A little bit of frustration starting to creep into the Brazilian game here. There's Javier Mascherano, River Plate man. Saviola it was who was offside. Fine goal-scoring record he has, both domestically and on the international stage.
There's been a few welcome to the game tackles, haven't there, from Argentina? They've certainly said, you know.
Thing is, do you know what though? Even if Argentina end up 5-0 up in the last 5 minutes, you'll still get a few.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I saw them joking and laughing together before the game. As soon as the game started, God, have some of that.
They have a renowned style.
I mean, I'm really impressed with the physical side of their game today, which, you know, everybody needs.
Still though, I don't know about you, Steve, but I'm sure many a viewer back home will agree, one of the most enduring images of an Argentine footballer. And Sebastian Veron crying when England beat them in the World Cup in the Sapporo Dome in 2002. Sat on the bench, tear running down his cheek. Oh dear. Here's Kaká.
See, this is where you need to be booked. You need to be booking people now, because you're just going to get that all game until they get booked. It's probably I think it's the third time we've seen that. And players in full flight being brought down, and until people are booked, they will continue to do that. And I mean, it's stopping. It's just stop-start every time Brazil get it now.
I don't know if you noticed there as Kaká bent down to tie his bootlaces up. Sorin stood next to him and bent down to do the same, and I'm sure there was probably a few sly words in the ear going on there. Ronaldinho then with this free kick, again off the wall, and that's the second time from a decent free kick position that Brazil have failed to get past the wall. Juan hoists it forward, more in speculation than anything else. Coloccini in on Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho again, another crunching tackle in on him. And I said just before kick-off that this game was going to be fast and physical, and it's not let us down so far. Brazil, just at the moment, with the sort of players they have, it almost looks as if they don't want to get kicked, Steve. You know, they're not shirking challenges as such, but they quite obviously don't have that same desire to get stuck in.
They're not enjoying the game, are they?
No.
Simply because it's a difficult game for them. You know, you're playing against a team who seem extremely comfortable when they get it.
Here's another chance now, Kily González! And he just sliced that one away, and he knows that was a great chance. He let it run onto his left foot. And from that sort of angle, it was always going to be hard.
It's a great ball as well, a great reverse ball. Look at the actual pace of that ball is fantastic. I think that so far for me has been a feature of the game, is when both sides have been able to, the ball through has been the timing and the pace of the ball has been fantastic.
Do you know what? There was a ball on there for Crespo as well, by the way. There was a ball on if Gonzalez had fancied it, but he took the shot. 7 minutes to go till the break, and I bet you Carlos Alberto Pereira can't wait to get his team back in the dressing room.
I mean, it's probably been one of the most interesting half-times we'll have seen, because clearly if they play like this, you know, in major tournaments and major games, they will not win the World Cup.
Look at the two benches tonight as well, particularly the Brazilian bench. They don't really have anyone on the Brazilian bench who can come off it and really do anything that spectacular. They've gone for broke with this lineup. Roberto Carlos drills in, comfortable for Abbondanzieri. Look at the Brazil bench. Take out Marcos, the keeper. You've got Anderson, Gilberto Silva, Renato, Ricardinho and Oliveira. Ricardo Oliveira, to be fair, could come on and maybe add something extra up front, as we saw on Sunday night. But really, in terms of the match winners, they're all on.
Yeah.
They're all on.
I'm not sure how many match winners there are out there today. On the other side.
Here's Hernan Crespo, delightful ball for Saviola.
Just saw a perfect instance there, Roberto Carlos getting the ball, and whatever you say, Cafu and Roberto Carlos are not wingers. You know, they might they get pushed on, but they are glorified fullbacks, and they can't go past people. You know, unless they're running onto balls where they've got some sort of time and space to whip the ball in behind people, they're never going to get behind. They're not, you know, Ryan Giggs where they're going to shimmy, get past someone and whip a ball in. And they just don't get to the byline. Like I say, it's comfortable defending for the Argentinians. And they are relying purely and simply on incisive passing through the middle, and that's tough.
Riquelme with the short corner finds Saviola, and Saviola chips in! And it's Crespo again!
Can't be it's not Liverpool Milan again, is it? 3-0.
What an amazing start for Argentina. It just gets better and better and better. And Brazil, quite frankly, do not know what's hit them. I'll tell you, it's Crespo, twice.
I bet he's just had a little second thought about, oh no, is this deja vu here or something? His second goal just before half-time looked absolutely, totally and utterly in control.
The Brazil bench is a picture of despair as Hernan Crespo scores his second of the night.
It's almost too easy. Look at the marking from the corner. He gets the ball in the box.
Roque Jr. again on Crespo, beaten. Hernan Crespo wheels away in celebration. Lovely ball by Saviola. Brave header from Crespo. Dida stranded. Argentina 3-0 up. And what a shock first half this has been here.
Well, you say it's been a shock as a scoreline, but certainly not if you're watching the game. I mean, it's no more than they deserved at times.
Well, you talk about, is it AC Milan and Liverpool all over again for Hernan Crespo, as we see another angle of this goal, scored in the 39th and 44th minute in the Champions League final. 2 first-half goals that put AC Milan 3 up. 2 first-half goals here put Argentina up in the 3rd and 39th minute. And now Hernan Crespo sits just 2 behind Ronaldo in this World Cup qualifying group.
Two huge mistakes there. We've got the ball in the box and just been able to turn and put it in. Secondly, we just saw how easy it was for Crespo there. I bet he can't believe this tonight, how easy it was to get across Roque Jr. there.
If Roman Abramovich is watching on his yacht, he will be gutted. There's a slap from Ronaldinho on Juan Pablo Sorin. And Sorin's making a meal of it. And Ayala comes over to have words. And there's a yellow card, is there?
Yeah, there's a yellow card
for Ronaldinho. 2 of the worst haircuts in world football going head-to-head there.
Yeah, they're just trying to calm it down. There's nothing in it. I mean, we see this time and time again. You know, there's been far worse tackles that have should be punished, and they're not. We get a little slap like that, and all of a sudden, World War II breaks out, doesn't it? It's ridiculous.
A yellow card for that slap, but not for Ayala's pull down on a clear through Adriano.
Absolutely.
Plenty for Alan Kerbishley and Fernando Duarte to go through at half-time with James back home in our Bravo studio. Much to talk about, plenty of action to analyse. What a start, what a first half, what a game. This one certainly has lived up to the billing, and now there's a collision there between Kily, González and Kaká, and it's the old master against the young whippersnapper, and this lot are loving it.
We've got a position here where we've got Brazil getting absolutely battered, and all of a sudden realising we're getting the mickey taken out of us a little bit. So, we need to, just let them know that we're about, let them know I'm here. And we've got a riled up already Argentinian side that are absolutely, so up for this game. So I think really it's just a case of Brazil really going up to where Argentina were, but unfortunately it's all too late.
There's a real don't mess with us attitude here, isn't there? Kily González just using his body to shield Kaká, and then takes a bit of exception there. And this is what you get when you come into the Argentines' backyard.
But they're so up for this game, aren't they? I mean, it's just...
There's the slap.
He's kicked the ball, hasn't it? What's he going to do now, though? This is the bit.
And Sorin, who, by the way, when he was at PSG last year, there was a survey done in the French press about who the most fearsome, ferocious player was in French football, and Sorin was a winner by a country mile. And there he is going down, acting hurt after Ronaldinho, of all people, gives him a little slap. Now, here's Robinho to the byline. Big challenge in on him from Luis González. And he took it well.
I don't know about you, but it looked like he was clear, didn't it? All of a sudden you've got two Argentinians. Like we're saying, they're covering each other's backs every time.
The goal here would be crucial for Brazil if they're to get back into this game. Ronaldinho goes short, looking for Roberto Carlos, but it's broken down, and I'm afraid they telegraphed that one somewhat. And Argentina clear their ranks. And it's Cafu who finds Dida. And the home fans are on their back, the home players are on the back, the press are going to be on their back when they get home to Brazil. But it's not a good time to be a Brazilian footballer just at the moment, mark my words.
If you going to get beat. I mean, as we said before, it's not the game that they want to take a real hiding in this one, is it?
2 minutes to be added on here, which is just about right.
I mean, as it stands, I mean, it's a funny game, but there's just no way back, is there? You just can't see how they're going to get back into this game. They might get, from a decent move, they might get an opportunity, but for them to get actually back into this game,
Ronaldinho with a lovely run here. He's beaten about 3 players, and then a challenge comes in the box, and Roque Jr. goes in hard. And now there's a little bit of afters involving Ayala and Roque Jr. Sorin gets another shove in the face. And Roque Jr. has just gone in to mix things up a little bit there. Coloccini's getting stuck in. And this is, well, frankly, Steve, what many people would have tuned in tonight to see. A grudge match, if ever you've seen one.
I'm going, they can't get back into it. The longer I'm talking, the more that Ronaldinho's beaten about 8 players. I'm thinking he's clean through, I'm going to put someone in and make me eat me words. But unfortunately, this is a last-ditch tackle there. But watch this, is a fantastic run, by the way.
1, 2, 3, 4. It took the 6th man to take him down. That was Heinze.
Good tackle as well, had to make it.
And then Roque Jr. goes sliding in. And then all hell breaks out, and guess what? Ayala's involved. There's a surprise.
It's silly bits of afters, isn't it, really? That's all. You know, there's some decent passage of play, some 1 or 2 good tackles.
Yellow card for Roque Jr. there, Stephen. The referee will do well to blow his whistle here before anything else kicks off, and indeed he does. Half-time then, and a stunning 45 minutes of football for you on Bravo. Hernan Crespo with 2 goals. He scores on the 3rd minute and the 39th. Add to that a goal from Juan Riquelme and Ronaldinho, and the Samba boys are struggling. Half-time here in Buenos Aires, Argentina 3, Brazil 0.
Indeed, Andy. Wow, that was some first half, eh? Argentina all over Brazil in Buenos Aires. Still, the Champions League final proved, of course, that 3-0 up at half-time is by no means game over. And, hey, Crespo scored 2 in that one too. Well, we're going to be looking back at the first half with Alan and Fernando right after the break. But in the meantime, it's all Argentina celebrations there in Buenos Aires.
.com. What's your game?
Ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with?
If you don't leave with me right now, you will regret it.
Brand new Alias continues Sunday at 9, exclusively on Bravo.
They are the world's most deadly assassins.
What, are you looking for a job or something?
You are the job. Their identities are a secret, even from each other. Brad Pitt.
Come to Daddy.
Angelina Jolie.
Who's your daddy now?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Check it, I'm a bad grandma. Busting moves to shock ya!
What's going on?
Ding, ding.
Brand new and exclusive, the coolest sound with Axel F and the Crazy Frog. Get this fantastic ringtone and join the Jamster Clubs for more fun by texting C1 for the Pollies, C2 for the real sounds, or C3 for the video ringtones to 88888 now.
Wall's Strawberry Cornetto.
Now it's Strawberry all the way down!
Sky Multiroom lets you enjoy your favourite Sky programme in one room, while someone else enjoys theirs in another. Your multi-room subscription is only £10 extra a month. All you need is an extra Sky box for £99, and standard installation is free. Call today on 08705 800 876.
It's frustrating going round in circles. That's why, as an O2 business customer, you only have to make one call to one person, and they'll take care of your query. O2, a world that revolves around you.
Hate it or love it, get the games hit and join the Jamster clubs for more fun. Text L31 for the monos, L32 for the polys, or L33 for the real music sounds to 88888.
Transform your mobile into your personal disco. Feel the beat, see the lights flash and feel the vibrations. Get your personal disco and join the Jamster clubs for more fun by texting Disco60 to 88888 and party on.
This is the Frosty Jack apple. It goes into Frosty Jack white cider to give it real taste and bite. It's not your well-behaved domestic apple. Its sharp, crisp taste means it's a little on the wild side, which can also be said for Frosty Jack cider. So enjoy, but be prepared for a white cider with real apple taste that bites back. Text to win a trip to the Big Apple. See Frosty Jack's bottles for details. Until you've tasted Frosties, you don't know Jack.
ただいま帰りました。ニューヨークどうだった？寂しかったよ。新しい車買ったのよ。この子痩せたんじゃないの？2週間あなたに任して骨とかガリガリになって帰ってきたじゃない。毎日ステーキばっかり食べてました。ほらかわいそうに。見てごらんなさい。骨とかガリガリに痩せちゃってるじゃないの。こんなもの食べさせてたのって私なんか全然たった一人の息子なのよ。彼はちょっと甘やかしすぎなんです。いえいえ。
All new episodes of the hit US show, transforming people's lives and homes. Extreme Makeover Home Edition, tonight at 9 on UK TV Style.
888.com. What's your game?
Welcome back, everybody. Wow, we've had an extraordinary first 45 minutes between Argentina and Brazil. The Argentines are all over the world champions. Fernando looking very down in the mouth there, alongside Alan Curvishly. It is 3-0 to the Argentines. Fernando, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm gutted, but credit to the Argentines.
Where are your team tonight?
Well, I think midfield's not playing quite well. Of course, the defence has been trouble for a while, but Argentina has one of the most skillful generations for a long, long time, and they're playing a very gutsy game. I mean, well done to them. I'm gutted. What can you do? They're like a train of wrestling.
Right. Alan, if you were Carlos Alberto Pereira, and thank goodness you're not right now, but what would you be doing at half-time?
Well, you've got to think about where you're going to start. I mean, they've been out-fought, they've been outrun, they've been hit in all directions. I mean, they're back. I mean, Roque Jr. looks so jittery, and even from the first minutes, he's been involved in the first 2 goals. Cafu's getting exposed as well. And when you think about the Brazil, we was talking about earlier about 4 forwards and all this attacking flair, got 2 full-backs that play like wingers.
Yeah.
Hold on, you've gone to Argentina away, you've got to set your stall out. You let it go in after 3 minutes, you're not going to get back in it by being as loose and, you know, as defensive-minded as they have been.
Well, indeed. Let's have a look. And it started early, the damage for Brazil. Crespo with the opening goal after, what, just 3 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, Cafu's been left struggling behind, but, you know, he should have been up there playing him offside. But Crespo's got in a great position and he's going to finish that the way he's been playing. It's a great finish. He should have been offside. I don't think you can imagine that goal being scored against Argentina. But what Argentina have done, as Steve said in the commentary, they've let people know they're around. I mean, Ayala, for me, is lucky to still be on the pitch.
Right.
The 2 tackles he's been involved, and how he didn't get booked.
They haven't been helped by the referees, have they, Brazil? But Argentina have made their own luck, if you will. Riquelme, this goal here, we'll see on the replay, the little touch he does that creates the move. I think it's here, actually, there.
But once again, I mean, once the ball's played in, Roque's come out, and if he's going to come out, he's got to claim that ball. Once he's gone past him, I mean, it's a great strike. But I think that just summed Roque up, you know. He's come out of the back 4, and he's done nothing, really, to stop the player going past him and getting a shot off. And it's a great finish in the end. I mean, he's gone past him, and look, what sort of challenge is that? Ayala would have closed him down, made the challenge. Coloccini, Heinze, any one of them with Argentinian defenders would have stopped that happening.
Right.
That's a player that Barcelona said was too slow to play in Spain. Anyway.
Yeah, he's got, Villarreal into the Champions League.
That's it. I mean,
OK, well, Crespo, who wasn't good enough for the Premiership, then with his second goal just before half-time.
Well, they've been caught by the short one, haven't they? And
Caught by the short something.
And Crespo just ran off a Roque and got a free header in. Once again, you can't imagine that being scored against Argentina at the moment. You know, they'd have been pulling him back, they'd have been in front of him, they'd have been the right side of the ball, they'd have made sure they'd have defended that. Such a poor goal to defend. And really, a couple of minutes before half-time, you want to get back in that dressing room 2-0 at least to give yourself a chance. Can't see much chance now.
Well, any 3-0 result at half-time from now on for years to come is going to produce a reference to the Champions League final in Istanbul, so we might as well mention it. Liverpool were 3-0 down at 45 minutes up against Milan. But anyway, we'll see what happens in the second half. We've got a break coming up. Just a quick reminder, though, of our competition before that. We're giving away the Brazilian shirt signed by the world champions themselves. All you have to do to win it is answer this simple question. Who is Brazil's all-time top goal scorer? Is it A, Pelé, B, Ronaldo, or C, Romario? If you think you know the answer, text the word win, leave a space, then your answer of A, B, or C, then leave another space, then list your name, hometown, and text the entire paragraph to 80088. Text remember costs 25p plus standard network rate, and remember, please ask for the bill payer's permission. Lines close at 9:40 p.m. tonight, and we'll be announcing the winner at the end of the match. So good luck to you. Very good. I think another break, and then we've got the second half of this extraordinary matchup at the Monumental Stadium in Buenos Aires. Stay tuned, because it promises to be just as exciting in the second half.
888.com. What's your game?
Perhaps I would like something for the weekend.
UFC weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 10 p.m, exclusive to Bravo.
Rebellious hair? Tame it with new Shockwave's Extrovert One Night Wonder Wax or One Night Wonder Gel. Extreme control for any style you want. Easy to apply, extreme lasting control, and easy to wash out. One Night Wonder Wax, One Night Wonder Gel, and many more. Shockwave's style made for connection from Weller.
Hey, you're playing golf?
Yeah.
It's not a bad luck, mate.
Oh, yeah.
You fancy a 4X, mate?
Oh, yeah. I got a crate of it in the...
Flies well, doesn't it?
Teddy is alive. Get the Dancing Teddy and join the Ringtone King Clubs for more fun. Just text Dance 11 for the Pollies, Dance 12 for the Real Music Sounds, or Dance 13 for the video ringtones to 84888 now.
They are the world's most deadly assassins. Their identities are secret, even from each other.
Jane? You've gotta be kidding.
This body's not your wife, she's the enemy.
Still alive, baby?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Check it, I'm a bad grandma. Busted moves to shocker.
You've all heard the rumors. Area 51 is just a government research facility. Everything is totally under control.
Messi the Dragon is back and on fire. Lighten up your mobile with Messi's Love Burns ringtone and join Jamster Clubs for more fun. Text D11 for the monos, D12 for the polys, or D13 for the real music sounds to 888888.
Sir, what seems to be the problem?
Well, no problem. The light sold me this TV. It was supposed to be a 32. And
it's a 32.
This looks a little smaller.
I assure you, it is 32 inches.
It does look a little small. Dwight, did you change the tags, perhaps?
Why does that? Do you guys do that? Does that happen?
Looks so.
Dwight, what's going on?
It looks me that
Who established the inches on it?
Who has a tape measure? 30, 31, 32. Wow. Looks like somebody just measured 32 inches.
But you're measuring it diagonally. That doesn't
That's
make any
standard
sense.
industry. That's the industry standard, yeah.
It is standard. It is.
It's 32 inches.
See your paperwork?
Boot camp tomorrow at 8 on Bravo.
888.com. What's your game?
Welcome back, everybody. Now, here's the thing. Brazil have got a mountain to climb in Buenos Aires. They're 3-0 down to Argentina after the first half. They do have some of the best players in the world at their disposal, but can the world champions come back? Let's find out now. The second half is ready to get going, and we'll join our commentator, Steve Claridge. And first, Andy Burton.
Thank you, James. A mountain to climb indeed. I can tell you that neither of these two coaches have made any substitutions here at half-time, so it's as you were. A reminder of that Brazil side. It's Dida in goal. Back four, Cafu, Juan, Roque Jr., Roberto, Carlos. Emerson will hold, so will Zé Roberto. And then four up front, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Robinho and Adriano. The Argentina side, it's Abbondanzieri in goal. Heinze, Ayala, Coloccini, the back three. González and Sorin, the wing-backs. González, Mascherano and Riquelme in midfield with Saviola. And two-goal hero Hernan Crespo up front. And we are off and underway once more here on Bravo. Argentina, comfortable and cruising. How, oh how, to Brazil, Steve, try and get back into this game?
By me having a bet on Argentina to win it.
Did you do that at half-time?
If I had, I can guarantee they would have. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to, so there is not a prayer of them getting back into this game.
Yeah, there's a struggling punter in all of us, I'm sure. And I don't think there would have been too many people at home watching this who would have put money on Argentina being 3-0 up after 45 minutes.
What happens now is generally these sort of games either tend to peter out, or you get the type of games that we saw in the
Champions League final.
Champions League. Generally, you can't keep that sort of tempo up, and they just sit and they can see ground Argentina, and they just keep what they've got.
It's the sort of game that goes down as a classic. It becomes a bit of a legend as years go by, and it's one of those nights where those Argentina fans will be able to say, I was there. There's what, 45-odd thousand inside this stadium, and there'll probably be 80-odd thousand telling their grandkids in 20 years' time that they were there. So Brazil struggling at the back, particularly Roque Jr., as Alan Kirbishley at half-time was saying. He's gone a little bit AWOL. That man, the centre of the back three for Argentina, Roberto Ayala, has been physical, he's been fearsome, he's been ferocious, and he's lucky not to have been sent off. Saviola and Crespo looking to combine. Now it's Gonzalez, and it's a great save there by Dida.
The difference there is we saw the overlap, the man coming out wide. That's the difference. You know, that option would not have been on for the Brazilian.
They just don't have that opportunity for the fullbacks to get past someone. Just kind of say 20
it's
yards
not
inside
fullbacks, is it? It's wing-backs. That's the difference. There's a subtle difference between a wing-back and a fullback.
Sure.
You know what? A wing-back primarily has got to be good going forward. Defensively, he's got to do a job. But if you said to me, what would you rather, be better going forward or better defensively, then you'd say you'd rather someone who can get forward. As a fullback, you'd rather someone who can defend, but that just obviously isn't the case for Brazil. But if they don't get forward, then there's nobody there that can give them that natural width. There's no one on the overlap. There's no one who makes a second, gets wide and drags people out. And that's why we have the situation we've got here, where it's such a tight game for them.
Just wonder how they would fare in a more competitive qualifying group as well. Robinho, loose, and given away. And as he tracks back to try and win the ball back, he fouls his man. And all of a sudden, this youngster who only made his first start on Sunday night is getting a real taste of what international football at the top level is like. It's all well and good scoring in a 4-1 win against Paraguay. Come to Argentina, and it's a different kettle of fish.
Don't start giving it all that. You were eulogising about him. I love this. Oh, what a great player. Now you're giving him all sorts.
Well, just
now you know what it's like, son, to come into a proper game.
You know what I'm saying. It is a very different prospect to playing Paraguay at home than it is coming here. Your thoughts at home more than welcome. 80088 is the text message number. Gets you through. Put the word studio at the start of your message.
You've been in a funny mood. You want your 120 grand a week. Thinks you can go out and score a goal anytime you like. Yeah.
If you agree with me, if you agree with Steve, let us know. 80088.
Better explain what I said
Help.
then, actually.
Help. Here's Juan Pablo Sorin. Plenty of support up there. Kily González on the run. Now a chance for Brazil to come on the counter-attack with Kaká. Surging run. Has options. Slightly loose touch there from Ronaldinho, but he gets away with it.
Can you just imagine? Let me just stop that very quickly. This sort of stuff. He gets the ball, he takes a touch, someone comes down the outside. Instead of having to cross into a box where he's got three people faced up,
which he's running away from.
Yes, he just passes it to someone on the run. They come and whip the ball in. He's putting it in an angle that nobody's going to get on the end of. Somebody on the overlap will put it into an angle where people are actually defending and they're facing their own goal, and that's what defenders don't like.
Hope the England players are watching, says this text from Mark. On 80088 on the text message. When you see this sort of football being played, England stand no chance of even getting to the last 8. Thank you, Val from Nottingham. Here we go. Definition of Argentina: organised, discipline and quality, says Neil in Folkestone. If you'd like to join in with our text message debate, you can. 80088 gets you through. As Adriano sees a decision go against him. Put the word studio at the start of your message, by the way. It costs you 25p plus your standard network charge. Make sure you ask permission if it's not your bill.
Are you going to explain when I meant the 120 grand a week? Would you just like to explain yourself there, or are you just going to leave it that I'm talking complete gibberish?
I was saying that, standing at 6'5", that if you paid me 120 grand a week, I could probably get you a goal.
Yeah, I think you've taken
I would do it for just 1 week.
No, it wasn't quite said like that, but we'll leave it at more like, oh, give me 120 a week. I love it. 120. Just 1 week. Just 1 week in it. I'll get him a goal.
If Hernan Crespo is on 120 grand a week, can you imagine what that would be like for anybody watching at home who possibly doesn't earn that sort of money? Unbelievable. Anyway, this is the state of the game these days. Here's Coloccini, and he's fouled by Adriano. Another man Chelsea, I'm sure, would love to pay 120 grand a week if they got the opportunity. Who knows? Could well be moving this summer. And as guys back home alluded to before kickoff, he might not have a choice in the matter. Inter Milan decide to sell.
You think there's a place? I just can't believe there isn't a place for Crespo at Chelsea. I find it incredible.
See what strikes me about Chelsea? The amount of money they've spent on players. If they'd have just spent, say, 70 million on Henry and Vieira, they'd have won the title in the first season. Would have been done and dusted. But a lot of average players. Now, here's challenge on Kaká, which goes unpunished. Gabriel Heinze.
Some people you can't buy, can you?
Well, I don't know. Everyone's got a price, haven't they? As Kaká goes down inside the box, he thought there was a little more in that. Not given by the assistant referee on that far side, Edgardo Acosta. And it's Abbondanzieri to hoof one, to use a technical term, downfield.
Just trying to work out whether they've changed any sort of shape at all to their game, Brazil.
I don't think they have. The only thing that's maybe different in the opening 7 or 8 minutes of this second half is the fact that Kaká has come so deep to get the ball, and he's gone on a couple of long runs. We didn't really see too much of that from him in the first half. Roberto Carlos. Adriano. See Roberto down there as well. And now Argentina just look to turn defence into attack. It's broken down as Roberto now finds Roque Jr., who has been shaking, to say the very least.
Maybe just took the foot off the pedal a little bit, Argentina. One or two times when there was an opportunity to make a tackle, you know, we saw it just then, and they haven't gone through with it, and they're just taking the tempo and the sting out of this game.
Roque Jr. does not look like a Brazilian. He does not look, in his playing style, the way he's playing today, he doesn't, I don't know, that long ball into absolutely nobody there. It's not how they like to play the game, and he's, I don't know, maybe his head's not quite switched on tonight. Challenge between Roberto and Sorin. Sorin stays down.
Probably a little bit of payback time, I think, you know.
Well, that's the thing. Have they got the edge to match Argentina at their own game, or do they just try and keep doing what they're good at, Brazil? This is the problem that faces them at the moment. But as they try and find an answer to that question, time is running by.
Do you think this is not a bad thing? If you're a Brazilian player, Brazilian team, you know, just a little bit of a wake-up call to say, hold on a minute, you know what? Just going out there and having lots of flair and going and playing off the cuff is clearly, you know, not going to be enough. If you're going to make mistakes, you're going to get caught out short. You'd rather now, you know, knowing that you're going to qualify, which you are, rather than get into a World Cup and get in this sort of scenario.
If I was that man, Carlos Alberto Pereira, I would want to know, even in qualifying, that my team could comfortably deal with some of the world's best teams. Now, not quite sure how that wasn't a corner. Didn't see any sort of deflection there off Gonzalez, but anyway, play goes on. Do you know what I mean, Steve? If I was Pereira, I would want to take some sort of confidence from the fact that I could play well in these big games, because this is their one big game in 18 months.
Yeah, admittedly, but Brazil, you know, are renowned for not playing well in qualifying, and you know, always when the big event comes, that's when they come to the fore. But you get the feeling, I mean, this is a lesson learned tonight, and whether or not they learn from it, I don't know. But you know, it's a chance to take something out of this game and say, well, this is where we came up short, and learn from it. If they don't, you know, clearly they won't win the next World Cup. It's as simple as that. They will come up well short.
Ronaldinho finds Juan, who gives the ball away, and there's a late challenge there, I think, by Gabriel.
He knows he's going to
gets himself a yellow card, and as he said, he was apologising right from the moment the player he tackled landed. Plenty of yellow cards being dished out here. Heinze and Sorin now, both on the left side for Argentina, are on yellow cards, and that is a bit nasty. Roberto Carlos cuts back infield and finds Kaká. See Roberto. And they're ever so flat there. Argentina have everybody behind the ball. See Roberto. Lunging challenge from Luis González. Cafu with time. And here's an effort now from Roberto Carlos is there. Drilled in across the face of goal. And they've got to score chances like this, Brazil. Kaká couldn't get the shot away, neither could Ronaldinho, and there was a counter-attack on there. How's that not gone in? Lovely dummy by Robinho, finds Kaká.
It'll be a little bit disappointing, Argentina, with the, I mean, Brazil, I mean, it's a long, hopeful ball rather than you know, something that's going to cause you a lot of problems, and they've got the two extra men over, as we can see there. A little bit skinny there. Just get tucked in. That's the problem when you've got a back three. They do tend to mark very, very closely.
There's 8 Brazilian players in there, Steve.
Yeah. But the three centre-halves,
Argentina
were very, very tight there, you know. And whereas you'd have a fullback coming on the cover, they don't. And that's, you know, that's something where you look at a 5, and that's possibly at times where you can get exposed a little bit. It wasn't a great ball in. I mean, there's no
venom in there.
Well, no, not venom, but there was no real. It wasn't like an educated cross where he's made the keeper come and he hasn't been able to get it. It's just a deep ball, and what you've got is, as I say, the 3 centre-halves are very much shoulder to shoulder almost, playing too skinny at times there.
Kaká now again coming deep, and this is
he's looked good tonight
for me where he is at his strongest, running from inside his own half.
Yeah.
Adriano. Emerson.
If you're saying Kaká's game is to get the ball, run at people, you know, and look dangerous and pick it up in dangerous areas and pick people out, then he's not done bad tonight, you know, out of a side that haven't performed.
Certainly improved in this second half. Haven't seen anything from this man tonight, Ronaldinho. He looks like a man who didn't want to get involved in this type of game. He's not had any space. He's always had two players around him. To be fair, Cafu will drive, blocked down by Heinze. Coloccini just dives down in the box there as well, and it's stopped from Robinho by Abbondanzieri. And Robinho just giving a little glimmer of how he can get a shot away.
It was almost. You forgot how good the Brazilian players are in the first half because they were totally, utterly blown away. But as you say, I mean, in their own right, they're fantastic players.
Hernan Crespo looking for the man on the back post, and that header from Roberto Carlos was a little bit too close for comfort. Dida with a frown just swats that one away for a corner kick for Argentina. Great awareness by Crespo.
Good ball in as well. There was no one there. It was a great ball in.
Gonzalez was a little deeper. They don't look too comfortable. They don't look like they're enjoying their evening. There's a good ball into the near post, looking for Sorin.
I think it's also a case of they just seem to want to get there first. They want to anticipate. They seem to have a greater urgency of you know, getting on the end of the ball when it goes into the box.
And Riquelme's corner again. Seen some good deliveries from him from those corners tonight, you know, Juan Riquelme. We've had a goal from him too. If you've just joined us, it's 2 from Crespo, 1 from Riquelme. They give Argentina this 3-0 lead as we go past the hour mark. Here now is Adriano making a run. Still, away it goes.
I mean, if you're talking about strengths and weaknesses, that is where they are strong, Brazil. When you know you've got them under the cosh, you've got a little bit of pressure on them, and then all of a sudden they break, and they break with the 4 players like they do, and it's really, really hard then to get back goal side.
Well, Carlos Alberto Pereira is preparing to make a change down there in front of us, and it's going to be Renato who will come on. This is a midfielder for a striker. Off goes Robinho.
I just see a change of system here.
Renato more defensive-minded. Just wonder if maybe they're doing this the wrong way around. It's almost, Steve, as if they go gung-ho right from the start, and then they don't have any options to try and force the game. If they'd have maybe had someone like Renato or Gilberto on, who could have maybe been a bit more defensive and just tightened things up a little bit against an Argentina side they know are going to attack, then maybe at this sort of stage in the game with an hour gone, we can maybe start thinking about trying to throw Robinho off the bench.
It's a game that you'd like to go there, give the respect that they deserve, the Argentinians, maybe hold it for an hour, and then, you know, as the game begins to get stretched and the time and space comes into it, then you start picking people off. But as it is, I mean, it was just completely, we've said it, you know, said it before, they just got blown away, didn't they?
Zé Roberto.
They're going to have passages of play now, you know, I mean, they're 3-0 down.
Kaká now to Renato. Adriano finds Roberto Carlos. That's a good ball! And that's a wasted opportunity from Zé Roberto.
That is the type of ball that I'm talking about. Defenders facing their own goal like that. Fantastic. I mean, it's the first time he's not going to beat anyone, doesn't need to, gets a yard. And then you've got defenders facing their own goal, and all of a sudden they look vulnerable.
The ball there does all the work.
Exactly. But he's in an advanced area, takes a touch, and he can put the ball in from there. Too many times we've seen them, particularly tonight, where they've got it and they haven't been in those advanced areas, and they've had to just put balls in, you know, where defenders will attack those all day.
Plenty of text messages coming in tonight about Hernan Crespo. I hope Jose Mourinho is watching this and is already making calls to get Crespo back, says Tony and Fareham, who possibly is a Chelsea fan. And Crespo's a far better player than Drogba and would walk into the Chelsea team. Hey, Lennon from Edinburgh, thank you for your thoughts on the text messages tonight. As
not many Chelsea fans saying that when he was there. Well, you know, he got an awful lot of stick while he was there.
Do you know what? He got a big amount of stick, but consistently through his career he's hit Probably a goal every other game.
Yeah.
10 goals in 19 Premiership appearances. What do you think about that? If you're at home, text us, put the word studio at the start of your message. 80088 gets you through on the text. Steve?
I'm not quite sure he was playing in this. I think he'd be a totally different proposition in the Chelsea side that is now, rather than one that was under Ranieri. I've got to say, I mean, they're a far better option, far better team now. And he looks good enough to play in any outfit, doesn't he?
If ever there's a manager that fills you with confidence, so it would seem, looking from the outside in, it's Jose Mourinho.
It doesn't look like he needs it. You know, he looks like he's got his confidence back, doesn't he? I mean, they're crying out for a ready-made goal scorer. I mean, that's what they've said time and time again. That's what's let them down. It's out-and-out goal scorer. I mean, Drogba has a physical presence. I mean, I think in his own right, he's a good player, a very good player. But they just need someone who's going to get them that 20, 25 goals a season.
Certainly in the market for a striker. Well, you're without a club, Steve, at the moment.
Oh, I wouldn't take a drop to go there.
Here's Emerson. Not too many options for him. He's now got Juan Riquelme bearing down, and that's the sort of pressure that causes players problems. Got a lucky deflection there, though, and it's now thrown for Roberto Carlos to take. Ronaldinho may try and roll his man here.
They've actually pushed Ronaldinho up front now. Actually gone...
He's filling that void left by Ronaldinho.
I think they've gone 3 in midfield and pushed him on up front.
Kaká just sits behind the front two of Ronaldinho and Adriano, with Roberto, Emerson and Renato in midfield now. Just wonder if that's the way that they should maybe be lining up anyway. 3 in midfield.
They actually do play. I mean, I looked at their side and the way they play, and we said it before, and you don't really think, but they play 4-2-2-2.
Yeah.
That's exactly how they play. I'm just writing the team out there, and that is how they play.
Square pegs, round holes. It's almost, Steve, as if they...
Well, there's no width at all, is there? Anywhere in any part of that side, the only width is the 2 fullbacks.
Pereira decides to his best 6 midfielders.
Well, it's your best team. It's not your best formation. It's not the best. It's your best players.
Yeah.
It's not your best team. It's your best players, and they're put in as an 11.
It's definitely got a back 4 always. Your full-backs are cemented in anyway. No problem there. Your centre halves, it's any sort of 2 from 3, really. Roque Junior, Juan, or Lucio. You've got Emerson as a holding midfielder, Roberto as a holding midfielder, and then it's just whichever 4 of the 5 are playing best at the time. You've got either Ronaldo and then the 4 who are on tonight. And it's like, this is how I play, this is how the team is going to line up, this is what we do. We are Brazil, we are champions, this is how we play it. But what they haven't done, it seems to me, is gone into this game against Argentina and thought, how can we win this game against Argentina? So it doesn't seem that this is a winning combination.
No, I'm not quite sure
to try and win this game.
Given enough respect to Argentina.
But against the other teams in the group, that can work.
That's good enough, isn't it?
They can wing it.
We see it time and time again. Good players, you know, up to a certain stage. We've seen it for England on occasions. You know, will win your games just because they're great players. But when they come up against teams of equal quality, that's when a manager comes into his own. That's when, you know, the tactics, the shape, the balance of the side, you know, will improve you.
Another good ball in there, and Roque Junior is up and at him. And he got his header away. Great ball in by Roberto Carlos once more. Roque Junior calls for it and gets it.
Another super ball in, isn't it?
And really, those are the first 2 good balls that we've seen from Roberto Carlos tonight.
I mean, it's not ideal. It's a deeper position than he'd like to be in, but it's a fantastic ball in. And, you know, very little you can do wherever you're on the pitch if you've got that sort of quality. But it's hard to keep putting balls of that magnitude in every time. I can promise you that now.
There's Ayala, who's been immense.
What is he, 32? He's 52 the way he's played today.
Could well do. He's 32. 94 caps now, including tonight's game. Only played 17 games this season, though, at Valencia, in a season in which they really struggled by their high standards.
He's going to go to Man U, wasn't he? Actually, the year before last time.
There was talk. Ronaldinho now. Plenty of options. Plenty of Argentines back to defend.
See how, I mean, he didn't get the ball, but it's just that challenge that puts him off. You know, you're not going to go past, and if you do, you know, there's some
down.
Yeah, you're either going to go down, or I'm gonna make some sort of challenge on you. And there's no gimmies out there for the Brazilians. Nothing, but nothing comes easy. And I think as a manager, we said it time and time again. They've been very physical. But I tell you what, you don't mind that.
As we approach the 70-minute mark, it's Brazil once again through Adriano. So Roberto picks up and finds Kaká. It's a clever ball for Adriano. Ronaldinho is open, although not for long, and he knew Sorin was bearing down on him. And that's exactly what you were saying a moment ago, Steve. He gets the ball and he knows there's someone coming for him.
It's frustrating when you're like that, because it's just they simply haven't been able to dwell on the ball. They haven't even been able to take a first touch. You know, the difference there with Ronaldinho when he gets it in that position.
Adriano now, with Coloccini marking him. Ball goes straight through and it finds Cafu, and it's deflected, and it's very close indeed.
Getting a bit of luck either, are they?
Do you get the feeling this isn't going to be their night?
Yeah, they've done enough to deserve something tonight. Certainly, sorry, in the second half they've done enough to get something out. I mean, the deflection, you know, for the Argentina goes in. I mean, how that hasn't. I mean, I do not know.
Inches in it. Now, Cafu. Kaká. It's Emerson. And Renato. A bit of a late challenge there. Renato goes down and is holding his Achilles there. And the challenge from Javier Mascherano, it's exactly what we were talking about. They just like to leave their mark, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many challenges that you look at it and you go, well, imagine this being a Premiership game.
Did you see that right leg? Not only did he slide in with his knee bent, he then just jabbed out with his...
How many people would have been booked?
Yeah.
This had been a Premiership game. There'd probably been 8 or 9 players already been booked in this game.
Quick change here, and Javier Zanetti's coming off for Luis Gonzalez. Like-for-like swap, he'll go to right wing-back. Been impressed with Luis Gonzalez tonight. He's put in some pretty sterling work down that right side, the River Plate man. And the home fans certainly appreciative of his efforts, and appreciative too of the man coming on to replace him, Javier Zanetti, a big fan favourite.
I mean, what did they start with? 4 or 5 River Plate players, I think. So I mean,
They had 4.
Yeah, I mean, this might have something to do with a bit of team spirit, mightn't it?
Now here is Roberto Carlos to strike one. Oh, what a goal! Roberto Carlos with a trademark free kick. And with 19 minutes left in this game, there's renewed hope for the world champions. But is there enough time?
What a fantastic strike. Oh my word, that just takes your breath away, doesn't it?
Quality of the highest order there from Roberto Carlos, and it doesn't matter who you have in goal there, you are not going to stop this.
2 goalies, couldn't you? We still wouldn't have got near that. Incredible.
Roberto Carlos with his first goal in World Cup qualifying for Germany 2006, his 9th in 112 caps. What a strike!
Just got to up it again, Argentina now, haven't they?
Yep.
Just, yeah. I don't want to give them another one, because it'll be an awkward 15-20 minutes. They've just got to start to up it again. Just sat back a little bit. It's very, very difficult when you're 3-0 up to keep that sort of tempo going.
I heard this week that squeaky bum time has been added to the Collins English Dictionary. I wonder if that applies here if Brazil get themselves another goal in the next couple of minutes.
What, along with your bounce-back ability word?
Loving that one as well.
Yeah.
Copyright Ian Dowie, 2004. Here's Kaká. Locked down and away by Mascherano, who himself has been immense for Argentina, doing all the dirty work. There's a neat bit of skill to find Kaká.
It's not that snap in the challenge anymore, though, is there?
There's one from Gonzalez, just as you say.
I just saw it then. He could have gone through the lad, and he didn't.
Juan Riquelme finds Crespo. Argentina have, as Steve predicted, just stepped it up a little bit here. Roque Jr. and Juan, the two centre-backs, caught out. Now there's a problem! And Roberto Carlos did just enough to put Saviola off. Zanetti. A slip at a crucial time allows Brazil to break free, and it's again Kaká running from deep. Leaves it for Ronaldinho. Adriano advanced. Still, Ronaldinho looks for Adriano on the back stick. Kaká won't get there. Well, he will get there, in fact. I thought that was going to be headed away by Ayala, who was brave in the challenge.
Game's getting a little bit too stretched now for the Argentinians. I think they want to keep it. They're falling between two stools, because when they do attack, they don't get enough men forward, so they can't keep the ball forward. They keep the ball in their Brazilian half, and all of a sudden, but they're leaving themselves exposed to the counter-attack.
And here's the chance that Roberto Carlos had to try and do something about, with his two centre-halves on the touchline, by the way. Juan and Roque Jr. AWOL again. Cafu stuck in on Roberto Carlos and then on Sorin. And Sorin will eat those challenges up all night long. He loves it. And Gustavo Mendes, our Uruguayan referee, good job to keep this one under wraps tonight. Here's Saviola to run and say Roberto. And to flick at that shot, if anything.
Very liberal, the referee, to be fair. I mean, he's let an awful lot of things go that you know, you'd imagine normally they would have been punished.
Good run by Saviola. So Roberto just got a foot in there, and then the Argentine couldn't get his shot away.
They're always just letting the front two get on with it, aren't they? You know, I think what they need to do, they're just frightened now of getting done on the counter-attack. They're just getting a little bit tired as well, you know. It's once or twice now the Brazilians going past them, and it's been a little bit, it's just turned into the physical side of the game now.
Sorin here, Steve, sorry, is lucky not to be sent off. He's already on a yellow card, and he pretty cynically brought down Ronaldinho here. Look at what you think of this. Out goes the leg. Again, it's one of those where they apologise straight away. That's a yellow card for me.
Well, like I say, I mean, there's lots and lots of things that have gone on out there. As you can say, he's really looks frustrated. Lots and lots of things that have gone on out there that, you know, you would imagine would have been punished and haven't been.
Can England play this sort of game against Brazil, I wonder? I'll leave you to ponder that one as Roberto Carlos shapes up for free kick number 2.
Well, Argentina have almost played an English game, didn't they? Certainly in the first half.
Juan Riquelme is back there, amongst others, to try and stop this from going in. In the end, oh, it's cleared away by Heinze, who didn't get a shout, and he lets Abbondanzieri know that he wanted one.
Interesting to see if he actually does head this all away, or he's just incredibly fortunate. No, good header, good header. And whether or not it just flicked off him, he wasn't sure where he was, but
clearly didn't get a shout. Ronaldinho knocks it back in, and Adriano won the header, but he couldn't keep it down.
Mr. Abbondanzieri, a couple of uncomfortable moments there, didn't he? Looked as if he got anywhere near that one.
On another night, those go in, Steve. On another night, those go in. I'll have a reminder for you in just a second of our competition with time running out. As Roberto Abbondanzieri, again, long, downfield, looking for Crespo, picked up by Saviola.
That's another thing we don't take for granted, we shouldn't take for granted, is how good he is in the air, Crespo. He certainly wins his fair share.
Adriano to Kaká to run again from the halfway line. There finds Ronaldinho. Cafu's gone forward on the overlap. It's blocked down and away, and this will be another corner kick, for which Emerson, Juan, Roque Jr. will all trot forward. Taken short. Well, suspicion of handball there, surely.
That's off his back.
Referee says off his back. So does Steve Claridge. We'll take another look at that in just a second. I have to say, I thought on first glimpse, yeah, Saviola maybe got a little bit lucky. Roque Jr. stays up. Juan stays up. What can Renato do? with this delivery. Not very much indeed. And here's the counter-attack again. It's 4 against 4. And it's a big tackle there by Roberto. Play continues. Advantage play by our referee. Here's Crespo to break to the byline. Does he have support? He does. It's Sorin. It's well past him. And it's another escape for Brazil.
Did he put that in with the back flick, or did he put that with his left?
Well, whatever he's done, he's hurt himself in the process. Javier Saviola. Let's have another look at just how that cross was delivered.
I'm sure he dinks this with his right foot. There you go. I thought so. Looked a little bit strange at the time, the way he put it in.
He wouldn't be doing that at 1-1, by the way.
Great, that's fantastic.
Here's Saviola going down under the challenge of, say, Roberto. Well, do you know what? They've been dishing those out all night, so they can soak a few up.
Yeah, as I say, a little bit of payback time, isn't it?
So Roberto now looking for Kaká. Argentina have possession, and time to remind you of our competition this evening as Kily González sees his clearance blocked away by Renato. 5 minutes remaining for our competition. You can answer this question: who is Brazil's all-time top goal scorer? We have 3 options for you: A, Pelé; B, Ronaldo; C, Romario. Whichever you think it is, put the word win and then A, B or C, plus your name and hometown, send it to 80088. Text messages will cost you 25p plus your standard network charge. You have just under 5 minutes to do so. Lines close at 9:40. And for anybody who gets in late from the pub tonight and is watching us on Bravo +1, sorry folks, the competition is closed. Ronaldinho, good run. Kaká on the advance. So too Adriano, and it's the Inter Milan striker that Ronaldinho tries to pick out, and some cat calls ring out here around Buenos Aires because Brazil really are not connecting here tonight.
No, this has been a big 10 minutes for Argentina. You know, you get the goal, there's 20 to go. If they get another one, all of a sudden it's going to be a difficult period to see the game out. But as it is, they've taken control again. They've just got a grip on it again, which they needed to do. You know, Crespo in particular has held the ball up. It's stuck up there. They've been able to relieve a bit of pressure. And even though there's been good phases of play by Brazil, they've seen it out.
Lovely link up between Ronaldinho and Kaká, but Ronaldinho just looked for one pass too many there. I'm a fine one to criticise, by the way. Here now is Renato looking to win the ball from Riquelme. I've been very impressed with. We had one text in earlier on tonight, Steve, bigging up Juan Riquelme. He says, if you've seen what he's done in Spain this season, you won't be surprised at the way he's played tonight. Yeah. He's one heck of a player.
Yeah, looks all round. I mean, it's a super player. I mean, first and foremost, he goes and does a job, doesn't he? And he makes life very, very difficult for the opposition. But we saw with the goal, he's got a little bit extra as well. Just not just a dog or a water carrier, as you would say. But you know, a very good player in his own right.
Just less than 9 minutes to go. Carlos Tevez is getting ready to come on. Very impressive striker in the Argentine squad. Isn't it nice to come on with 10 minutes to go against the world champion to be 2 up?
They still have a job to do, though.
They've got to weather this storm here.
Still have a job to do. They're still, you know, wanting to get on and keep the ball for them.
Well, that pass from Renato just allowed Kily González to get in. What a good job he's done tonight as well, by the way.
I was going to say, I'm sure I saw him playing up front a couple of 3 years ago as well.
Well done. And now off comes Javier Saviola. And the Monaco front man has been pretty impressive tonight. He's been a good complementary factor up front alongside Hernan Crespo. Crespo will be the man who grabs the headlines here. But this has been a team effort. And Carlos Tevez coming on now can certainly do a job. We saw that in the last game between these two sides on Bravo last summer. Tevez certainly has an edge to his game. He has goals in him as well, you know. Unfortunately tonight for Brazil fans, their strikers do not.
I think Roberto would have swapped the goal the other night for one tonight, wouldn't he? I mean, it's virtually the same position, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah. Roberto, a man for me who has looked lost in the last 4 games. And there's Carlos Tevez, who will look for his first touch as Crespo looks to provide him with a knockdown. Sorin.
It was like pinball in there, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is the problem, the way Brazil play. They have kind of 6 through the middle. 5 now with Robinho coming off, but it does get congested through the middle then. Especially when you consider that Argentina have got 3 at the back, then 3 in midfield, have stayed pretty tight.
Yes.
And there's just been no room for them to get through. There's been 2 balls of 3.
Yeah, they'll compete in the middle, and then obviously with the added factor of the width that they've got, you know, that's when they've been able, that's where they've, you know, got an advantage, so to speak.
Those wing backs have tucked in when needed as well, and as I said, those 2 walls of 3 soon become 8 when Sorin and earlier González and now Zanetti tuck in. And there's just really been no room for Brazil to get through. Ronaldinho looks for Adriano! And it's definitely not their night, I'm afraid, folks. That's the 3rd chance in the second half that's gone begging for Brazil. And on another night, these would have all gone in.
There's possibilities. I mean, they could well have turned this game around, couldn't they? You know, we say it time and time again, don't we, as well? It's a dangerous position to be in, 3-0. I mean, if you're playing against an inferior opposition, it isn't. But what you've got, you know, as soon as that first goal goes in, it's so difficult. You want to protect what you've got, and subconsciously you always take a step back. You know, and then it's very very difficult then to go on again. It's like getting a second win, but you can't because you're almost set in your way. And you know, the game has changed purely and simply as soon as they scored Brazil. And all of a sudden there's an edginess and a nervousness to the Argentinian side. A little bit weary as well at times.
Carlos Tevez fouled by Renato. Means Dina's got a bit of work to do here.
Certainly haven't had the luck tonight either, have they, Brazil? You know, we talk about them getting absolutely blasted out of to pieces in the first half, but they haven't had that little bit of luck probably when they've needed it at vital times in the game.
Juan Riquelme stands over this free kick with less than 5 minutes to go. It's played to Zanetti now, and it's on the back post. And Jr. had to clear away, or Crespo's got a hat-trick.
Yes, I mean, at times, I mean, you look at the free kicks and dead ball situations, and you know, the defending, not just from Brazil, but from Argentina as well. You know, it's left a little bit to be desired.
Should Ayala be winning headers there?
Not really. I mean, certainly should be a challenge on him.
Who's bigger than him?
I think Roque Jr. just slipped. Sorry, Juan just slipped, but it still looked probably a little bit too easy.
Riquelme again with the delivery.
That ball actually looks like it almost goes out the ground, doesn't it, and comes back in. So much loop on it.
Still time, still time. Kaká blocked down, look at that. It's a 3-on-4 with 3 more tracking back for Argentina, and that's what they've done so well. They know Brazil are dangerous on the counter-attack, and they've always had enough players back there, Argentina, and that really, for me, has been one of the keys to this game.
Although at times they've been stretched simply because, as you say, we've got such fantastic players on the ball. When they're running at you, you know, lots of Kaká and Ronaldinho. I mean, you know, there's none better in the world in those positions. So they've done well. At times they've hung on, you know, and they have been stretched.
Deflected off Coloccini.
That looked like that was off his hand, but
here's Adriano's chance that hit the upright. And on another night they go in, don't they? Look at the strength of Adriano there, by the way. Beats 1, beats 2.
It's under his feet, isn't it? And as it rolls away, he's not really got a clear eye of where the ball is. It's just strikes the ball rather than, you know, having it under control, and that's why he's just dragged it.
And that rebound could have gone anywhere, but it didn't fall to a yellow shirt as well.
No, there's been occasions second half.
Sorin, oh, a big tackle there, and it deflected off Sorin, and just for a moment looked to be heading goal bound.
you've got to say, I mean, it's against a side who've, you know, just really out there to protect what they've got.
I wonder if back home Alan Kirbishley and Fernando Duarte had a little bit of money on this game. I wonder if Fernando put his money where his mouth is, being a proud Brazilian. If he does, streaks on Kirbishley tonight.
That would be a first from what I've heard.
That rules you out of a contract at the Valley. Dida. Minute and a half left, plus time added on for stoppages. There won't be many of those. It's been the start tonight of this game for you, Steve.
I think just purely simply the Argentinians. We said before, we touched on it, that the Argentinians as a side, I mean, it doesn't look like there's anybody who, you know, they rely on. That people of everybody to a man have done their job. You know, Crespo, obviously, the 2 goals, has taken the headlines, and rightly so. But, you know, they've defended, they've tackled, they've worked for each other. And as a unit, they've been fantastic.
Emerson, excuse me, looked to knock it back in there. Roberto Carlos sees the ball go out of play for a throw. It's hurried, and it's cleared away by Coloccini, and he and Ayala get themselves in a bit of a tangle. Said Sorin had one of the worst haircuts in the game. Coloccini, his teammates, giving him a good run for his money there. Don't see too many wet look perms anymore, do you?
I would love a wet look perm, believe you me.
Palmed away there by Abbondanzieri. Veteran of the game now.
He raises more questions than answers, doesn't he? For me, anyway.
He's not had a great deal to do. Kaká. Away this time, was that by Crespo? Riquelme is open here. Here comes the counter-attack, as we see 3 minutes added on for stoppages. Renato tidies up.
Seem to have done that better, haven't they, Brazil, since the substitution, certainly.
It's an extra defensive midfielder.
Yeah, they look,
Renato to come and do that sort of job there.
They look more comfortable in this shape. They don't look as exposed.
Well, I wonder if, in preparation for Germany 2006, when international weeks roll around again in September and October, and we bring you those remaining 3 qualifiers for Brazil, I wonder if Pereira will have a little rethink. Plenty for him to ponder ahead of September's games. Ronaldinho now, with Kaká in support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue and white shirts around them. And Ronaldinho is pretty frustrated down there. But don't Argentina do a good job of shackling these Brazilian forwards?
It's a chance, isn't it? I do quite fancy this Ronaldinho. He didn't look too frustrated when he saw where the free kick was, I don't think.
Look at that, Sorin, Ayala, Heinze, all around him. Frankly, Sunshine, there's no way through.
You could actually be doing a meism here and actually speaking too soon. He whips us in the top corner. You'll be eating your words, won't you?
Well, I'm sure he would have rather had this free kick in this position than have to try and beat the 3 of them. Roberto Carlos stands over it too. He's scored 1 tonight already. See, Roberto.
I think Ronaldinho will take this. Ronaldinho will take this. Look on his face when he got up.
Just one step. Parried away again by Abbondanzieri. I'm glad he's not had much to do tonight, because his name's a right mouthful. And the delivery by Kaká. Adriano again charging down. I think that one hit
that off the line.
Either that or it hit the crossbar, as we see another look at the one-step run-up for Ronaldinho.
I mean, if that ball was going in, just watch this, is it? No, it's just
hit the roof of the net there.
If that ball was going in, he hasn't got his wall set up properly, so he might have just got his angles correct.
Nigeria away, and it's going to be party time in Buenos Aires tonight. This looks like being a comprehensive victory and a reverse of the scoreline from a year ago. When in Belo Horizonte, Ronaldo's 3 penalties gave Brazil the victory. But now it's a victory for the Argentines against the world champions. They frustrated them, and they've stopped them in their tracks. And it's Argentina who qualify here for Germany 2006. Brazil still have work to do. They'll get there, but they've still got to win it. It's Argentina 3, Brazil 1.
Well, Andy, something of a spanking there for the Seleção in Buenos Aires. They did have their chances in the second half, but at the end of the day, a well-beating performance by the Argentines. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time with full-time analysis with Alan Kerbishy and Fernando Duarte. But in the meantime, here are the Argentines celebrating a night that they'll be remembering for a long, long time.
888.com. What's your game?
Ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with?
If you don't leave with me right now, you will regret it.
Brand new Alias continues Sunday at 9, exclusively on Bravo.
Once there was a scarecrow who'd lost his scare, lost his home, lost his way. But someone found him. A farmer with a field of pure, nourishing whole grains. For only when you eat all of the grain do you get all of the goodness. This he knew from his Weetabix. Day by day, that goodness nourished the scarecrow. Until one day, he found his scare again. You can find the goodness of whole grain wherever you see the Weetabix sign. Weetabix, what are you made of?
All over Britain, more and more people are connecting to the power of learning. The Open University, powering people.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, coming soon to Xbox, rated 18.
Wall's Strawberry Cornetto.
Now it's strawberry all the way down!
This June, feast your eyes on MGM's hot new deal with our amazing 3 for £20 DVD offer, including the stunning Walking Tall, 21 grams, The Merchant of Venice, and the classic The Good, the Bad and the Ugly Special Edition. With over 100 of the coolest titles to choose from, there's a great deal going on at play.com.
Sri, welcome to our network.
Nice car, mate.
New Astra Sport Hatch. Go drive.
Bet888.com. What's your game?
Welcome back, everyone. Well, after all the euphoria after that huge win over Paraguay Sunday night, Brazil come crashing back down to earth in some dramatic style tonight in Buenos Aires. 3-1, the victory for the Argentines, payback for the 3-1 victory that Brazil had last year. And payback for so much more as well. Fernando Duarte over there looking remarkably brave after the evening he's just been through. Alan Kerbishley, you've enjoyed yourself, I know.
Oh, I think it was a very good game for the neutrals. That was a good game and really enjoyed it.
Fernando, any comments?
Well done for the Argentines, but in 2002 and in '98 they won the group, and look what happened in the World Cup. I don't need to tell anybody.
Indeed so. But you'd think they'd be reeling after that. I mean, it started so early for the Argentines, just 3 minutes in, and they were already a goal up. What happens here, Alan?
Well, the two centre-halves have gone in and been attracted to the ball.
That's Rocky Jr. there, yeah? We're seeing
he actually goes in, and Cafu's got to keep his line. I mean, the first couple of minutes, you'd like them all back about where Roque is, really.
Right.
You know, and play it out and don't take any chances. But they get attracted to the ball, and Cafu's left. Cafu now is left, playing them all onside. You know, Roque's just let Crespo go.
You can see Rocky Jr. there raising his hand, expecting the offside call. And
you can't believe Cafu's still there. So they've got it completely wrong. But after 3 minutes of the game, you know, you can't get things wrong like that. And, you know, you play on the side of caution, really. And they've got it completely wrong. And I think there lies the dilemma of the Brazilian manager, because in the second half, they've created enough chances. On another night, they may have got back in this game.
Right.
But the game was already lost. And it was lost by certainly two bad pieces of decision-making by the centre-half, Roque, in the first instance for the first goal and the second one.
Right.
And the third goal was avoidable as well. You know, the short corner, and Roque's let Crespo go. So the dilemma for that Brazilian manager is he's put them attacking players out, but he's got it wrong at the back.
I think it's all the Argentine water they drank before the game, to be honest. But let's have a look at the second goal, which didn't come too much longer after that. What, 17 minutes into the game?
Once again, I think starts with his flick, doesn't it? And they're nice and set up, the Brazilians. But then it goes into the player there, and Roque's come and sold himself. It's a great shot in the end. It's not what you expect, you know. It's a fantastic finish. But if
you're not happy with Dida on this, are you?
I wasn't, because he didn't make any attempt to try and save it. But if you come out like a centre back, like Roque did there, you cannot get turned. You've got to play on the side of caution and show the player back the way he's facing. But he's allowed him to turn, then get the run off, and then get the shot off.
The Crespo goal then, the second Crespo goal, just, 5 minutes before half-time, and another hammer blow for Brazil's chances in this game.
Well, this is what's killed the game. You know, you're hoping to get in at half-time 2-0, back in with get back in the dressing room with half a chance of getting back in it. But it's a short corner, and Roque's allowed Crespo to run across him, marking the wrong side of him, and that's a really poor goal. Great ball in, but as a defender, you've got to be the other side of it. You've got to be on covering the near post. If it goes over everyone's head, it's not your fault. But if it goes near post and that centre forward gets a touch to it, that's down to the centre half.
Right, and Crespo so great in that kind of situation. Now, the second half, you mentioned Brazil did have their chances, and one of them, Roberto Carlos, smacked away. Phenomenal free kick.
Fantastic free kick. I mean,
this is the kind of free kick he makes his reputation on.
Whenever Brazil play or Real Madrid play, and they get these free kicks all around the outside the edge of the box, and you hope he's going to come out and eventually hit one, and when he does, and it flies in, fantastic. No keeper's going to save that.
But Fernando, when was the last time you actually scored one of those for Brazil?
One of those scrimmers. I think it was against China in the World Cup, if I'm not wrong.
Right. Okay.
And then before that, in Tournoi de France, something that also caught my attention is that the midfield, usually Pereira, when he plays with, when he manages Seleção, the midfield is quite strong. The defensive players there, they usually are like pit bulls, as we say in Portuguese. And it didn't happen this time, even though he had Emerson and Zé Roberto around that. That's something that also exposed Brazil.
All right, well, we're going to be talking about what this all means for Brazil and what they're maybe going to be doing with their team in the next few games in a minute or two. Let's have a look, in the meantime, anyway, at how that leaves the standings. Argentina now 4 points clear with 3 games to go in the South American qualifying. They are now confirmed as qualified for Germany 2006. Brazil, well, they still look safe enough, but they've still got to make it mathematically certain. Ecuador now 4 points behind them. Paraguay holding up the last automatic space. And then Colombia currently occupying 5th place, which would see them go into a playoff with the winner of the Oceania group. Brazil's next games are Chile away, Chile currently 6th, but then Bolivia at home, and then Venezuela. I beg your pardon, Chile at home, Bolivia away, and then Venezuela at home. We'll have those, of course, right here on Bravo. Well, what do you think, Fernando? What is going to be the ramifications of this? Are we going to see cries for Ronaldo to be brought back? Would he have made a difference?
I don't think the problem would be with Ronaldo. I mean, I think the Brazilian press will definitely go for Roque Jr.'s neck. They've been for a while saying that basically he should be out. I don't think it was a problem of striking. I mean, I think Ronaldinho and Kaká actually didn't show up for the match during, what, 50 or 60 minutes, Alam. And then basically, I think they're just going to say that basically, perhaps, it's strange in Brazilian terms, but perhaps we should have been a bit more cautious and a bit more respectful to Argentina, but at the end of the day, it's a classic. It's you know, the same score as
they
it was
had against Argentina.
In Brazil. I mean, the world's not going to fall for that, but definitely people are going to be buzzing Paredes' ears. It's quite ironic because usually they say that he defends too much. Man.
Right, not after this one, that's for sure. Very good. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time with more full-time analysis, and also we'll be finding out who won that exciting signed by the world champions signed Brazilian shirt. See you then.